What's up, guys? It's Kictor. Are we ready to scum? Jessica M was number one. Hello, Jessica. And Rin, Wayward's Wig, Wizard of Moss, Pistachio, Cat, Brayley, Esper Lady, Lizzie. Hello, everybody. Oh, Kate is... We're 6 pages away from finishing Little Mushroom Volume 1, but here you are. Oh, where does without spoilers, can you tell me where Volume 1 leaves off? Miss Rosie, thank you so much for your donation. Miss Rosie says, I am at a game night with friends, but will be listening in all the same. Hope everyone is doing well and staying warm, especially my fellow Midwesterners. Oh yeah, I've heard there's that crazy, winter storm there. That's nuts. Thank you so much, Miss Rosie, and I hope that you have an awesome night tonight with your friends. And oh my god, Lorelai just gifted 10 memberships right off the bat. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Lorelai. Holy shit. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, we have so many new members. This is crazy. Welcome Joe and Dumbass Goddess, Riley, Belfie, Fishman, nice, Jasmine, RC, Danley, oh my goodness, Flower Comets, Friend of Mara. Thank you so much, Lorelai, for gifting those memberships, and welcome any new members to the Kickflip community. That's what we call, that's what I like to call, it's basically my friends, my YouTube members. Because it's like Kictor, Kickflip, and Jung Chung can't do a kickflip. So it's become this whole joke. And yeah, my membership is the best way to help support my channel, since this is what Stitch and I do full time, and it's like a Patreon monthly subscription thing. So getting gifted a membership is so nice. So thank you so much, Lorelai. Oh my goodness. Wayward's Wig says, good news, TikTok is not banned in America anymore. It was literally just a day. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Because Stitch's phone is American, so hers was banned last night, and now we got the message this morning being just kidding, it's not banned actually yet. Kate says, bad things happened and Daddy Lu Feng is gone to go fix it. Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah. You're gonna want to keep reading. Little Mushroom is so good. I think I want to read Little Mushroom on stream because it was so good, and it's short too. Kenzie, hi Kenzie, thank you so much for your donation, Kenzie. Hi, ready to scum it up tonight. I'm out and about in Tacoma with my sis, but listening in. I've been still hyper focusing on Zelda. Nice, Zelda is so much fun. Switch 2 announcement? That's cool. I just bought a cool attachment for my Switch, so I'm like, fuck. Kate says, also you didn't tell me Little Mushroom is mpreg if you squint. Oh, Kate, it is fully mpreg. There's no squinting needed by the end of it, I'll tell you that much. Lu Feng absolutely, has a pregnancy kink with Anja. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that to entice you a little bit easier. Miss Rosie, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Welcome, Karen. Miss Rosie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Spark Major says, let's just read all the Danmei. Spark Major, oh my god, you're, was it, oh my god, what was it? Your Stars of Chaos, TikTok that I saw last night. That's so funny. With Chung Gung with his, double eyes. It's like, come down to the basement and I'll suck your dick. It was so funny. What did you buy for your Switch? I bought, Satisfy grips. So it's more comfortable to hold in your hand, because my hands go numb if I'm holding my Switch, playing it undocked, you know. Spark had a Rat Brother one too. Fuck yeah, Spark is amazing. Thoughts on the Switch 2? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited for new games. It seems like the type of console where I really like my Switch, and I'm how could they improve it? I don't know, are they gonna make it be able to play games like Call of Duty now? I don't know what the technology's gonna do. I just always like Mario and Zelda games, so I'm excited if it's gonna release with a new Mario Kart. That would be awesome. Ugh. Oh fuck, I just fucking... spilled my tea on my hand, and it is so hot. Oh my goodness. Also, like right before the stream, I was rushing to like make this tea, and Stitch usually makes me like a hot honey and lemon, and I just like guessed the ratio to make it myself. And I got the ratio way off. I put in way too much lemon. It was literally like that meme where it's like Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Is that a new game coming out? That's awesome. Ellery, thank you so much for your donation. Ellery says, "Woo! D&D ended time with enough time to not be late. Anyways, so glad I'm here and feeling good. No headache. Yay! Anyway, this is Scum Villain Hours, but stan Hushwen. Absolutely, I'm always standing Hushwen. He's always in my heart. No milk tea, fake fan. Oh my god, you're right. I actually just drank a cup of milk and it really hurt my tummy. So I don't know what's happening to my body. I think I am deteriorating." Meridia says, "Hope you're excited for the next chapter and hope your throat is doing well." My throat is not deteriorating. My throat is stronger than ever. Kate says, "Keep chatting. I'm going to speed read." Okay, Kate, you let us know when you're done, little mushroom. Vengeance of the crispy milk, truly. That's so funny. It turns out Wei Wuxian's wig says, "That happens to me too randomly. Turns out I'm lactose intolerant." I know, everyone in my family is, so it's probably happening to me. Michaela, thank you so much for your gifting a membership. Welcome, Sarah. Oh my goodness. Last night, we normally have our Danmei game nights on Friday, but I fucked up my schedule because we've been moving and stuff, and we had it last night, and we played Frantic Fanfic, and that is a online game where you kind of shuffle around 3 parts of a fanfic. Like, someone writes the first part, middle part, and the ending, and you shift them all around, so in the end, like 16 little fanfics end up getting made, and it was so much fun. Like, it was so much fun. So if you join the membership, every Friday we have those game nights where we play games like that. I think one of the best ones that we did last night was Junwoo encountering one of Hushwen's bonefish. Also, Wei Wuxian encountered one of Hushwen's bonefish. We had Fairy encountering Royer with boobs. There were some really good ones. We had Drag Queen Hua Chung and Shi Qingxuan performing together. It was good. It was very good. Bing Pup pissed on Wu Ming. Yep, correct. Peanut Jr., who was one of Hushwen's bonefish, encountered all the Danmei men, yes. Hua Chung with 6 balls, yes. Chung Myung has been a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. I made it. Also 2 more months and then it's a year. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me for so long. I really appreciate that. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Moto says, "Once this Wednesday passes, I'll be able to join the lives more. I miss the Friday lives." Oh, I'm glad you'll be able to join again. That's awesome. Cork, thank you for your donation, Cork. Cork says, "Bought the Scum Villain books to follow along. Also made a Bing Pup and Shen Cat pottery painting thing to celebrate." That's so cool. Oh my god, that's awesome. Did you like do it yourself or did you go to like a pottery place? Because Stitch and I went to a pottery place recently. Stitch even made an appearance in the fanfic. Yes! There was a Jung Chung and Stitch fanfic where Jung Chung was going to prove to her that he could do a kickflip. But he failed. He can't do it. Little Mushroom has Mpreg, right? Yeah. Well, not... I mean... The Little Mushroom himself has a baby. And Lu Feng thinks it's hot and wants to put another baby in him, you know? He's a mother, yeah. Plant Preg. Cookielicious says, "Will you read Kaleidoscope of Death? If you enjoy beef leaf dynamics with a touch of horror, I highly recommend it. The main couple are badass boyfriends who also love to be girlfriends." Oh my god, that's so funny. That was one where the drama dropped, right? Like it got uploaded online. One of my friends watched it, and I think Ray read it as well. Maybe Stitch should read that one. sproing. It's more egg preg adjacent. Have I gotten some heavenly nuts? Is that what you're trying to say? Heavenly nuts? God, I can't escape that TikTok. Joe, you definitely do need to read Little Mushroom. It's very good. Oh, the White Cast Divine Scratching Post. Stitch read that one. And one of my other friends really liked that one too. Seems like we have a lot of new Dan-May book club videos to make. I just uploaded the QJJ Ballad of Sword and Wine Volume 3 book club video, if you haven't seen that yet. Oh, Miss Rosie is asking for more bracelet suggestions, fan tags, short statements, random phrases. Miss Rosie gave us the most amazing package of Dan-May bracelets. They were so incredible. Time to figure out canon versus fanon with this stream. I feel that way too. I'm like, what is canon versus fanon in Scum Villain? Because I've been on Twitter for like 5 years now in the Dan-May community, and I really don't know what's true and what's not. One thing I'm very excited to read about is the water prison, because I'm just picturing Shen Cho in like a shark tank. I don't know what the water prison is or what it does, but I'm picturing him in a shark tank. Spark Major says, oh my god, I love the water prison arc. Guy says, curly hair Bingha is technically fanon. His hair texture isn't actually described. See, that's a thing. I saw art in the early days of like Dan-May fandom and stuff where Bingha looks a lot different than how a lot of the fandom draws him. Even different than how he looks on... I mean, what the fuck does he look like in the other books? One second. Yeah, he's still got curly hair here and here. I have the Taiwanese covers. Let me see if I can pull that up. Scum Villain. I thought he looked really hot in the Taiwanese art with his long black hair. It's like a little wild, but it's not like poofy curly, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, okay, this art, it looks so hot. Let's see if you can see. Oh, what? Yeah, like that. Like, ooh, what's going on here? This is him as a child. I have this, and it came, yeah, one of these posters. Yeah, look at him. I feel like this gives such a different vibe than like so much of what the fandom has made, which is not like bad or anything, but I really like this vibe. Like, I kind of want to picture him looking like this, you know? Anyways, Bingha hot confirmed. I think it's the baby girl vibes that just give him curly hair, yeah. Curly hair equals more puppy-like. I have curly hair, and I don't like my curly hair, so maybe that's why I'm, like, prejudiced against it. Growing up with insane curls. Bingha for the curly hair girlies like me. Or but Kenzie has beautiful curly hair, so... Arianel says the curly hair makes him so easy to draw without having him look like every other Dan-May man. That's so funny. I think the cover for Dinghai Fusheng Records, I could be wrong. I think it's that one though. There's a guy in blue that has like a thin blue headband, and I'm like, that's fucking Xiao Chie. We can't keep these guys apart. Wei Wuxian's Wig says, what are you going to do when you get to the Some Villain Extras? There's some spicy shit there. I mean, you already read the Not Safe for Work scene in A Date with Death, so I think I'm going to try and read it. I'm going to try and read it to the best of my ability, and if it starts to get... I might just, like, you know... We could read as much as we think we can, and then once it gets really explicit, I'll probably just read it in my head and then sum it up in maybe a kind of a funny way, you know? Sum up the most explicit sentences. Oh my god, Kenzie, straighten your hair in high school? Me too. It takes so long. God. My dad used to help me straighten my hair. We need a baby girl scale for the Danmei boys. Oh my god. That would be funny. Oh my god, a video that Stitch and I want to do in our new house, because we're going to have a beautiful kitchen. Kate, thank you so much. Kate, are you finished reading? Thank you, Kate, for gifting a membership. And welcome, Providina. We want to do a video that's like Danmei confessions, but like do it as like the hot wing challenge thing, where it's like either you answer the question or you have to eat a hot wing. Something like that. That would be funny. Kicked or read Scum Villain while censoring the smut in real time. Yeah. Kate says, I couldn't finish it, lol, but I have a sad, tired baby and I'm ready for Scum. Aw, poor baby. That's okay. You can look forward to Little Mushroom later. So Wei Wuxian wouldn't answer and just eat the hot wings. Yeah, Stitch and I both aren't very good with spicy stuff, so... Vinny said, I bought a Hualien jewelry set recently and it came with stickers, and 2 were Hushuen and Pei Ming, and 1 was of Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji, and I gave 2 of the Hualien ones to my girlfriend. That's so sweet. That's awesome. I love stickers. Broccoli Fox says, he was described as a lamb, if I remember right. So that might be it. That's what I remember from the fan translation. So you're telling me this whole time we've been doing Bing Pup when it should be lamb chop? Oh my god, Kenzie, your mom would straighten the back of your hair. Kenzie's mom, Kicker's dad. Bing chop, some might say. Yes, Bing chop. Mochi says, have you seen the J-drama A Man Who Defies the World of BL? No, I haven't. Oh, Broccoli Fox says, the first version of the fans translation, also called Bingha, a handsome fetus. So I don't know. I mean, a handsome fetus. Well, okay. If we're talking about the MXTX3 tops, we know Hua Chung was an ugly baby. Not actually, but because he had his little red eye, you know. Lan Wangji was a poor, traumatized, stoic baby. Let Bingha be the handsome fetus. Fetus is giving Skins and War flashbacks. Also, yes, I am moving. Could you imagine if I was like, no, I just don't like Danmei anymore. I took down all my posters. No, they're all lovingly rolled together in many, many poster tubes. I was like, oh my god, we still have the one. And my, like, extremely expensive figures behind me. Because we're gonna, like, shuttle those one by one in the car. Because I don't trust. I didn't keep the boxes for anything. Kicked her the beginning of the straight arc. Sometimes it's just so kinky to be straight. Kate says, I had a fetus once. You can't call your child that. That's so funny. Bia says, Kicked her be like, I lied. We are not reading Scum Villain. We are leaving Danmei. Spark Major says, what would your channel be if you couldn't do Danmei content? Probably, like, gay anime stuff. Sports anime. Like, I would still be doing gay shipping stuff, I think. Even if the content itself wasn't gay. I still like gay shipping. But I probably talk about other anime too, more on main. Like, I'm watching Apothecary Diaries, and like, that's super good. But Danmei, why talk about anything other than Danmei if there's an option to talk about Danmei? It's the best! I feel like it's impossible to stop liking Danmei because there's just so many different flavors of it. You don't need anything else, just Danmei. It's true. Yeah, Link Click is really good. Link Click episode 4. It's so gay. It's so gay. I need to see all of them kissing. Wei Wuxian's wig. I was a fetus once. Oh my gosh. Lottie says straight arc, including reacting to Icebreaker and Colleen Hoover. That's so funny. Oh my god. I just start like doing like straight book talk. I'm okay, every now and then Stitch and I will like we go to bookstores and like read a couple, we keep flipping through like the spicy book talk books just to see what like it's like, and some of the smut we're just like, oh, these poor girls, like this is not like, I have listen, I have nothing against it, obviously I like smut. I'm like, there's just better smut out there like for these women, you know, a lot of the time it's between two men, but it's better. Quinn Silva, thank you so much for your donation. There is no escape from the Danmei rabbit hole. It's true. Keep me at the bottom of the Danmei well. I do not want to get out. Just drown me in it. It's like, he took me back to his apartment and treated me with the bare minimum of respect. It was so hot. Kate, yes, the hetero smut on AO3 is good too. It's true. I'm so into it. Hetero beef leaf is hot. It's my favorite beef leaf content. I've got nothing against hetero smut. I'm telling you, it's just like, it's like, it'll be like, there's literally, when you go into Indigo, which is like, I don't know if America has Indigo. It's like Canadian Barnes and Nobles. There's like a section that's called Spicy Book Talk. And so Stitch and I will thumb through it and try and find some good smut. Grace Noir, hello, member for 9 months. You are a fetus now. We were just talking about handsome fetuses. Hello, I too just moved. Oh, congrats. Moving is so much work. Tomorrow they are coming to help stage our apartment, so I wonder what they're gonna say about my figures in my desk. Barnes & Noble has the same section. I mean, I'm not like putting it down. Like, obviously, if you like reading those books, that's fucking awesome. Because it's just so funny, because it's like we read... Because a lot of those, not all of them, but a lot of those books are like one-off books. Like, it's like one novel and then there's like a sex scene in there, where it's like we're used to like reading multiple novels before we get to a sex scene. And that's why you read fan fiction, where you can get to the sex scene within a couple hundred words. Have you been to your new house yet? Yes, we have. It is awesome. Oh, passing by Tahoma. Give her a wave, Kenzie. Chirong says, Mother, I have got the Chirong fanfiction. Sarah, that's so fucking funny. Nothing like judging your friend that read Haunting Adeline while reading Arha. Exactly, right? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's really funny. House tour after you move, absolutely. We're hoping to get some sweet like figure cases and stuff. We want to get some like light up cases. Hushwen says, I'm not in it for the spice, I'm in it for the political nuances. Exactly. That's so funny. You have to understand the geopolitical context before you Before you deserve the boner? I can't remember what Stitch said. Joe says, I love judging my book talk sister while I read my toxic Danmei. We need to understand the socio-political context to properly appreciate the boner. There we go. Thank you. Starmander says, we just had a TGCF Cafe collab here in Thailand. It was magical and so beautiful. That's so cool. Oh man, that's so cool. I've been to some like fan what's it called? Cup sleeve events. I've been to 2 Heaven Official's Blessing ones, and they were or one was Heaven Official's Blessing and one was for Lamonji's birthday, and that was so cool. I love stuff like that. Oh, Kenzie is reading volume 7 of Arha. But I love my Shayla Chuanning. He is extra baby girl in this volume. Spark Major, me trying to justify myself, but the politics! Chirong says, I mean, I have a straight dark romance I'm reading because there's cannibalism in it. Oh! Chirong, are you watching Link Click? Because there's a really hot guy in it, and I think he might be a cannibal. Kate says, let's just say I did not read Thousand Autumns for the politics. You read it for the cleavage. Yi says, I read Thousand Autumns for the plot. Chirong says, not yet, but I'm sold. Okay, Chirong, look up Vein. Link Click, like Vein, Vein. The first thing he says when he sees like one of the main characters is, you look tasty. And he also talks about how it smells like rotting flesh all the time. There's something fucky going on with him, and he's so hot though. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys him. He's too hot. And then we'll get reading at 5:30. Vein. Link Click. Look at him. Look at him! Oh, we can't look at him actually. He's got those like slutty glasses. Look at him! Oh my god, he's everything. Yeah. He's Look at this punk ass little bitch. And he has like a little okay boyfriend, Felix. It's good shit. It's good shit. Everyone in Link Click is hot. Raw, next question. Annika says, love all the pictures of actual veins. That's so funny. Okay, bye, Chirong. Kate says, I'd give him my kidney. I'd give him an ovary. You've seen fan art of him, Yi? Yeah, he's so hot. All right, fam. I think it's time to read. What happened last time? Let's see. Oh, I'm too hot. I gotta take my jacket off. Okay. Shenching Cho got poisoned. Oh my god, that's right. Okay, so what happened last time was Xia Hualing came and was like taking over their peak, and then was like, let's have 3 battles. And then the system was like, Binghe has to be a part of the battle. And then there was the guy with the poison spikes, and Shen Jingqiu jumped in front of Binghe to protect him, forgetting about the protagonist Halo, and he got pricked by the poison spikes. Damn. And then he just passed out. Everyone get in the reading circle. Yes. Okay. And then Lo Qingge came and protected him. Yes. Yeah, that was crazy. So Shen Jingqiu jumped in front of Lo Binghe, and then Lo Qingge jumped in front of Shen Jingqiu. That was very gay. Okay, chapter 3, favor points. After sleeping for an unknown length of time, Shen Jingqiu finally awoke, more dead than alive. Opening his eyes to the sight of the familiar white gauzy curtains above his head, he knew that he was on Qingjing Peak, in his quiet and peaceful residence. He took a deep breath, wanting to stretch, when he suddenly realized that the door had opened and someone had entered. Ming Fan held a tray in both hands. Seeing Shen Jingqiu awake, he dropped the tray on the table and started to bawl, "Shizhen, you're finally awake!" Another person was still standing outside. Lo Binghe lingered by the entrance like he wanted to come in, yet he hesitated. Ming Fan sobbed for a while, soaking a large patch of the bed sheet before turning over his shoulder. "Why are you still standing here? Don't you know that seeing you annoys Shizhen?" he rebuked Lo Binghe. Then he said to Shen Jingqiu, "I don't know what's wrong with that kid. He insisted on planting himself there like some kind of stick. He won't leave, no matter how much he's shooed away." Shen Jingqiu waved his hand. "No matter, let him." I will go and get Luo Shushu, Zhengmen Shibo, and Mu Shushu, Ming Fan said. "They said to alert them as soon as you wake up." After saying this, he scrambled to his feet and rushed outside. It seemed to Shen Jingqiu that he'd slept for a very long time. Yue Qingyuan had already returned. As for Mu Shushu, that had to be Chen Xiao's Peak's Mu Qingfang. Mu Qingfang, who is this? Chen Xiao Peak specialized in medication. Oh, the doctor with the mustache, right? And was proficient in healing arts, so his presence made absolute sense. Lo Binghe let Ming Fan pass, but even after Ming Fan had gone a distance, he wouldn't leave his spot. He only stared fixedly into the room, his fist clenched tightly the entire time. Shen Jingqiu slowly sat up. "Do you have something to say? Then come in." Lo Binghe complied and entered the room. With a sudden thump, he fell to his knees before the bed. Shen Jingqiu stared at him in alarm. "Wait a moment. System, what's going on? All I did was sleep for a bit. How did things end up like this? How long have I been asleep for? Is it like 10 years in the future or something?" From his kneel, Lo Binghe raised his head, gaze fervent and full of guilt. "Shizhen, please forgive this disciple's foolishness and ignorance up until now." Foolishness and ignorance? You could describe a lot of people with those words, but certainly not Lo Binghe, right? Originally, this disciple was under the impression that Shizhen didn't care about him at all. Only after the third match did I understand what painstaking efforts Shizhen had put in. No, your original master really didn't care about you, Shen Jingqiu thought desperately. He earnestly wished you dead, really. Although exactly what painstaking efforts of mine have you noticed? Say it out loud, I'm very curious to know. But Lo Binghe did not continue speaking on this topic. He only said, entirely earnest, "From this day forth, this disciple will devote himself to carrying out his duty and serving Shizhen with all his heart, obeying only Shizhen's esteemed commands." Shen Jingqiu studied him with a complicated expression. All that past mistreatment and abuse completely forgotten because he'd saved Lo Binghe once? Weren't these favor points a little too easy to farm? To no surprise, at that time, he was unable to understand the course of Lo Binghe's thoughts, with their hundreds and thousands of twists and turns. Shen Jingqiu was silent for a moment. "As long as you understand, first, why don't you get up?" He still didn't understand this in the slightest. "Binghe, what exactly did you realize?" He watched Lo Binghe slowly stand, yet the boy remained unwilling to leave. Instead, he seemed bashful, as if there was still something he wanted to say. "Is there something else?" Shen Jingqiu asked. "Shizhen has slept for many days and only just woke up," said Lo Binghe. "I was wondering, do you perhaps have an appetite?" In truth, strictly speaking, Shen Jingqiu had long held himself in state of anedia. Even if he didn't eat, he would be fine. But he was unable to resist his nature, which craved good food. As soon as he heard there were things to eat, his eyes shone with desire. Quite a bit, very much so. Lo Binghe dashed off to the kitchen. For the past few days, every couple of hours, he'd remade a serving of congee, and now it could finally be put to use. After bringing the congee to the table, still steaming hot, Lo Binghe helped Shen Jingqiu sit up on the bed, so delicious that it made the hair on the back of one's nape stand up. He came just short of spoon-feeding Shen Qingqiu, and a streak of goosebumps ran down Shen Qingqiu's forearms. Oh my god! Oh my god! He ate a few mouthfuls using the ladle himself, and all the while Lo Binghe remained standing by his bedside, silently watching him. Oh my god, this sweet baby. It's so sweet. Every couple of hours, he remade a serving. He's got it bad. That's really, really cute. Oh my god. Just in case he woke up, he'd been making him servings every fucking hour. Baby boy. Shen Qingqiu thought for a moment when he was hit by a sudden realization. It's quite good, he said, reservedly offering a few words of praise. It wasn't just quite good. Even Chenjing Peak's name, clear and tranquil, told you that this branch tended towards the fresh and light, and the style of their cooks followed the same principle. After eating their food for so long, Shen Qingqiu's taste buds had become as dull as dishwater. Even though the bowl in his hand was full of mere congee, perhaps it was an issue of ingredients and technique, but compared to the watery, meager congee he'd had recently, it was on an entirely different level. Snow-white congee rice, finely chopped scallions, delicious minced pork, and shredded ginger in just the right amount, all at the perfect temperature. It had been too long. Shen Qingqiu's body wanted nothing but to weep. At this praise, Lo Binghe's eyes shone. If Shizen likes it, may I give it to him every day, with variations? Oh my god. That is so cute. Can I cook for you every day, please, 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 please? Oh my god. Shen Qingqiu choked on the spot. Lo Binghe rushed to pat his back. Shen Qingqiu waved him off, expressing that he was fine. He was only a little shocked. Lo Binghe's excellent cooking skills were his foremost lady-killing technique. Oh my god. Yeah, it only kills ladies. Shen Qingqiu had never thought that he would have the rare honor to eat as only a few key harem members in the original work got to. Cuisine a la Lo Binghe. Oh my god. Lo Binguini. Even more shocking was that line. Ah, that line. This one. I'll give it to you every day, with variations. This is quite salacious. Wasn't that what Lo Binghe used to coax several spoiled young ladies into willingly and ecstatically entering his harem? Eating whatever you want is fine, but saying whatever you want is not. As Shen Qingqiu's expression had grown strange, Lo Binghe was slightly uneasy. Shizen dislikes it? He asked. You made me free food. Whoever disliked that would be an idiot. Shen Qingqiu said amiably, This master likes it very much. From today onward, I'll leave this to you. Finally, he didn't need to resign himself to eating that insubstantial, watery fare. As the oh-so-mighty Qingjing Peak Lord, why didn't he have the privilege of a private kitchen? Having received approval, Lo Binghe once again blossomed like a spring flower. Oh. Shen Qingqiu watched him bloom, and without knowing why, his hand suddenly itched, wanting to pat that head again. Was it possible that Binga's head had a special magnetic field? Or maybe you're catching feelings. That would explain why he couldn't control himself. After sending a happily beaming Lo Binghe away, returning his goodwill by using him as hard labor, Shen Qingqiu called on the system. Is the scenario at the Endless Abyss unavoidable? He asked. If Lo Binghe fails to complete the Endless Abyss scenario, 10,000 satisfaction points will be deducted, said the system. Upon hearing that number, Shen Qingqiu once again, out of habit, spat up a fountain of blood. Afterward, he wiped his mouth. Whatever, he'd spat out so much blood that he was used to it at this point. This was eminently logical. If Lo Binghe wasn't shoved into the Endless Abyss, then he wouldn't be able to activate his golden finger. If the protagonist couldn't become overpowered, then where was the satisfaction? Therefore, the Endless Abyss scenario was unavoidable, and as this novel's #1 loser, #1 scum villain, the execution of this glorious task naturally, absolutely, inescapably fell to Shen Qingqiu. Yet unwilling to resign himself to this fate, Shen Qingqiu asked again and ended up sighing, still unable to give up completely. Lo Binghe, who was currently like a little sun, was destined to fall and become that brooding, cold-blooded demon youth. Even a transmigrator like Shen Qingqiu, who by all rights ought to have access to cheat powers, was unable to change this inevitability. He had been designated to be the man who threw the protagonist into the Endless Abyss, thereby catalyzing his overpowered legendary journey. This job's opportunities for growth really were terrible. If Shen Qingqiu failed to do this, he would lose 10,000 satisfaction points. He couldn't become more thoroughly dead than that. But if he did do this, once Lo Binghe activated his golden finger, he definitely wouldn't let him off. That work was difficult. The pay was meager. The benefits were non-existent. What the hell was up with this? Lo Binghe hadn't left for long when several of Shen Qingqiu's sect siblings came to visit. Shen Qingqiu lay on the bed, reading a novel hidden inside a copy of Dao De Jing. When Yue Qingyan entered, he shut the books without missing a beat so that the novel was tucked inside. With Dao De Jing's cover proudly exposed, he tried to get off the bed, but Yue Qingyan hurriedly stopped him. Don't move so carelessly, he cautioned. You shouldn't leave the bed yet. Just keep laying down. Yue Qingyan turned behind him to Mu Qingfan. Mu Shidi, come take another look. He has his own harem. He has the harem. He's got all the fucking gays in the village at his bedside. While Shen Qingqiu was unconscious, Mu Qingfan had already diagnosed him and provided treatment. This visit was likely for further prognosis. Shen Qingqiu held out his wrist. I'm troubling Mu Shidi, he said politely. Mu Qingfan startled briefly, but he nodded, sitting by the bed and putting his fingers on Shen Qingqiu's pulse. With his medical expertise as the Peak Lord of Qianzhou Peak, no matter how complicated the case, he only needed an instant to make a diagnosis and provide a prescription. But he conscientiously remained there for a long while before finally removing his fingers, his expression solemn. How is he? Yue Qingyan asked. As the patient in the question, Shen Qingqiu showed no restraint. So can this poison be cured or not? Lo Qingge shook out his sleeves. He's here too? Sitting down next to the table with a humph. It's called Without a Cure. What do you think? Shen Qingqiu sighed. Then Mu Shidi might as well tell me. How many years do I have left? How many months? Or how many days? With a single wave of his fan, they all come running. Truly. Mu Qingfan shook his head. Even though it's without a cure, its effects can be suppressed. His voice was even, neither quiet nor loud, but Shen Qingqiu felt like he'd hit the jackpot. Even though this poison was called Without a Cure, in truth, there was a remedy. In the original work at the Immortal Alliance Conference, with its twist after twist, a lovable, graceful, and subdued little Shimei from another sect was hit by this rare poison. However, importantly, she was the protagonist's woman. Was there ever a stallion novel where the male lead let his own woman be poisoned to death? If there was, then he would be a subpar wish fulfillment protagonist, and that would be a shitty failure of a stallion novel. The cure was incredibly simple. Let us review the developments in the original work. Due to the irresistible power of plot, in order to save the male lead, whom she'd known for less than 2 hours, that graceful little Shimei let herself be hit by a demon's underhanded trick, and the poison contaminated her body. Lo Binghe felt an absolute obligation to save her, and therefore he took on the burden of looking for a cure for the graceful little Shimei. It just so happened that deep within the mountains, where the Immortal Alliance Conference was being held, there grew a mythical 1,000-year-old flower. It's always a 1,000-year-old flower. Sorry, Shen Qingqiu had already forgotten exactly what the name was, whatever flower or whatever leaf, because the number of mythical flowers in Proud Immortal Demon Way numbered at least in the hundreds, and every single one was at least 1,000 years old. And when you added on all the mythical grasses and mythical trees, who the hell could remember all those names? Airplane shooting towards the sky. Do you think mythical flowers are like Chinese cabbages on sale? Leave mythical flowers at least a bit of dignity that comes with being rare and precious. Lo Binghe was sure this legendary flower would cure the poison within the graceful Shimei's body. He put a tremendous amount of effort into picking it for her. Just doing that took 3 days, 30 chapters. For those 3 days, they journeyed to pick the flower while fighting monsters through exchanging flirtatious glances, and they developed a deep sense of camaraderie. By the time Lo Binghe finally managed to pick the flower, the graceful Shimei's condition had worsened, her entire body fragile and devoid of strength. The two of them were overjoyed, and they hurried to let the graceful Shimei eat the flower raw. However, it was ineffective. The poison wasn't cured. Their hearts sank. The girl thought, since I'm about to die, I must leave behind some memories to ensure that my life won't have been in vain. I don't have many days left after all, so I won't suppress my feelings anymore. Then, using her weak and fragile body, she pushed Lo Binghe down. Lo Binghe put up a brief show of resistance before telling himself, she did it all for my sake. I don't have the heart to reject her final wish. He yielded, still half reluctant, and went along with it. Uh-oh. Then in the end, how was the poison cured? Oh my god. Is this how the fuck or die happens in this book? Oh my god. Okay, I knew that that was a scenario, but I didn't realize it was literally because of this. Oh my god, he has to fuck the poison out of him. After the down and dirty scene, the girl's poison was naturally cured. Was it ridiculous, cliche, implausible? But it was satisfying, right? Ridiculously satisfying, so ridiculously satisfying. Ha 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 ha. Not quite, but there are so many potential fuck or die scenarios in this book. Okay, well, this at least was like foreshadowing that there's gonna be some sort of fuck or die, I suppose. Look, Lo Binghe was of both human and demon blood, right? And the demon half of his bloodline came from their number one saintly ruler, from the heavenly demon of old. A wee little demonic poison wasn't even strong enough to get stuck between Lo Binghe's teeth, and he instantly absorbed and digested it during their, you know. Incidentally, he even absorbed the nutrients of the mythical flower the girl had just eaten, and so his marital ability once again made great progress. Shit. The so-called protagonist privilege was that even if he stepped in dog shit, there would be probably a hidden scroll or elixir within it. As Shen Qingqiu thought back on this segment of Proud Immortal Demon Way, his facial expression kept changing erratically. He failed to notice even when others addressed him. Yue Qingyan had to repeatedly call his name many times before he finally returned to himself. What? Mu Qingfang passed him a piece of paper. Every month, take these 4 medications, then circulate your spiritual energy with someone who has high quantities of it. Who's he going to be circulating spiritual energy with? This will assist you in maintaining regular spiritual circulation. If you do these things, you shouldn't have any problems. He paused for a moment. The only thing is, I'm afraid that from today onward, Shen Shishong, occasionally, your spiritual chi will at times suddenly stagnate, or you may suffer other abnormalities in your circulation. The other 3 people in the room all paid close attention to his expression. They all jump and be like, can I dual cultivate with you, please, please, please? One must remember that to cultivate, the stagnation of spiritual circulation was a profoundly terrifying problem, especially if it cropped up during a duel between expert practitioners, where a single slip-up could mean your life. Little did they know, Shen Shicho was immediately satisfied with the result. For somebody in a Scum villain role to be poisoned with something like without a cure and still be able to live, it was giving him too much confidence. Like, he knew that going at it with the protagonist could have cured the poison, but like he could do that. Could he? Ha 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 ha. He's already thinking about it. He is already thinking about it. Oh my gosh. Yue Qingyuan sighed. Had I known any of this would come to pass, I would not have left the mountain. Shen Qingqiu thought his tone was too solemn. The Immortal Alliance Conference has always been a massive event that the various sect leaders must work together to organize, he hurried to say. How could you not have gone, Xizhong? This happens due to demons' underhanded deceits and my own carelessness. You must not hold yourself responsible. If he didn't say this clearly here, given Yue Qingyang's personality, he might never leave the mountain ever again. He'd stay and defend Sangchong Mountain sect to his last. There was all entirely possible. To this surprise, Mu Qingfan also guiltily declared, No, the fault is all mine. If I hadn't failed to realize there was a demonic invasion, and if my skill weren't too poor to fully cure Shen Shishong, it wouldn't have come to this either. Both of them are like groveling, like ready to suck his dick. Oh my god. This is crazy. No, it has nothing to do with you two, Shen Qingqiu insisted. And then they look over at Lo Qingge and they're like waiting for him to say like, no, it was my fault. And of course he's not going to say that. He has bad circulation. He needs spiritual compression socks. Come to think of it, I was a bit indelicate and smashed a giant hole into the ground before Chongding Hall with that hammer. The 3 of them devolved into jumbled apologizing and blame-taking, the scene both chaotic and comical. It left Shen Qingqiu both touched and embarrassed, his entire body breaking out into goosebumps and his scalp going numb. Luo Qingge stared out the window, face expressionless. He waited until they had exhausted themselves, then finally took a sip of tea and said, This matter must remain secret to all but the 12 Peak Lords. If outsiders became aware that the Peak Lords of Sangchong Mountain Sect Second Peak had such a deadly weakness, things would be unfun, to say the least. All 3 of the others naturally understood this. Do you think that the burden of Peak Lord will be too heavy, Chenzhou? Asked Yue Qingyuan. The original Shen Qingqiu would most likely have suspected that Yue Qingyuan was trying to undermine his authority or something like that. However, the current Shen Qingqiu knew that Yue Qingyuan was genuinely worried about him overworking himself and damaging his health, and he rushed to respond. However, Shen Qingqiu realized Yue Qingyuan a little bit gay. Zhengman Shishong, really, don't worry about me anymore. I haven't been crippled to that extent, he smiled. For now, my hands, feet, and mouth still work, and I still have my cultivation. I am entirely satisfied. They then discussed a variety of details of the demon invasion before Yue Qingyuan and Mu Qingfan took their leave. Shen Qingqiu watched them go, thinking it all terribly funny, yet he also felt an unutterable warmth and peace. Even though his fellow disciples' personalities were all different, with some easy to get along with, some difficult, Lo Qingge, they all breathed as one. Oh. Though split into 12 peaks, whenever something went wrong, they were a dependable family, excepting the original Shen Qingqiu. Liu Qingge put down his tea, which had long gone ice cold. If it weren't for your body's lack of ghostly qi, I would definitely suspect you'd been possessed. And the one who remained just happened to be one of the difficult ones. I was right. On a certain level, your guess is very correct. Liu Qingge continued, You saved me in the Lingxi caves. That in itself was inconceivable. During the demon attack, you also rescued some nameless disciple and almost lost your life. You were poisoned to the point of damaging your spiritual energy levels, and you should be furious, yet you've peacefully accepted it. Someone else doing so wouldn't be strange, but you doing so upturns everything. Oh my god, Liu Qingge's catching on. He's like, you're from fucking Earth, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Shen Qingqiu absolutely didn't want to discuss the issues of his own OOC personality with Liu Qingge. He called Mingfan to refresh the tea, then leaned back and smiled. Nameless? That's only for now. Ooh. That disciple of yours, his base is indeed excellent, Liu Qingge said. However, a fair number with his level of aptitude are invited into the large sects every year, and in the end, the number who can become truly outstanding is less than 1 in 10,000. Wow! Liu Qingge's like shitting on Binghe already. Shen Qingqiu suddenly sensed danger. What if Liu Qingge became a stumbling block on Lo Binghe's journey to becoming the overpowered and, during a confrontation between the two of them, was KO'd in a snap? Lorelei, thank you so much for gifting another 5 memberships. Oh my god, thank you so much. Lorelei, that's insane. I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Welcome Bean and Ace and Cicada and Naru. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Lorelei. And welcome all our new Kickflip members. Yay, Bean says thank you. Yeah, okay, interesting. Liu Qingge is jealous. Believe me, he said patiently, earnestly. This disciple of mine will definitely be a success. I hope when Liu Shidi has the chance, you can give him a little support and guidance as often as possible. Mingfan was half dead from depression. He had only come to refresh the tea, yet he had been forced to hear Shen Qingqiu, his ally in torturing a shared enemy, heap praise after praise upon Lo Binghe. The level of frustration he felt was akin to that of the confidant who for years always cursed a little bastard with you suddenly went and coupled up with the same little bastard you tormented together. Repulsed, he immediately decided to go be repulsive to others. A stormy Mingfan found Lo Binghe in the kitchen, pondering over what food to make Shen Qingqiu the next morning. Oh my god, he's thinking about his food. Kicked our nation, how we feeling? Mingfan showered him with verbal abuse before issuing a series of commands. Go chop some wood, chop 80 bundles, fill the entire woodshed, fetch water. The water jars in our rooms are all empty. Are you blind? Can't you see? But Shishong, if the woodshed is full, where will I sleep? Lo Binghe asked, perplexed. Mingfan stomped his foot, spittle flying everywhere. Isn't it flat in here? Isn't that floor enough? I just filled the water jars in your room today. That water isn't fresh anymore. Redo it. Refill them all. In the past, some grievances and bitterness might have sprouted in Lo Binghe's heart, but today his attitude was completely different. In his eyes, these were all training opportunities. Ooh. He already had such a good teacher, one of who thought everything for him, who was even willing to sacrifice his life for him, right? What training could he not overcome? What suffering could he not withstand? Lo Binghe didn't say another word. He turned on his heel to get ready to work. Mingfan could derive not even a little satisfaction from his reaction, and instead he felt even more frustrated. He stormed away while cursing. I really can't understand what about that brat caught Shizen's eye. For Shizen to suddenly see him in a new light, a success, outstanding, even if that brat bewitched Shizen with some poison. Even if that brat bewitched Shizen with some poison, Liu Shushu won't guide or support him. Unthinkable. Bah! Though Mingfan cursed unceasingly as he went, his voice wasn't loud. But how could Lo Binghe, with his blindingly fast progress and naturally sharp five senses, not hear? Mingfan's mutterings were largely harsh words and phrases, but in the midst he touched on the key words, and in an instant Lo Binghe took those bits and pieces to guess most of the whole picture. So Shizen had actually spoken about him like that in front of Liu Shushu? Shizen is talking about me! The feeling of having someone speak about you so highly, somewhere you couldn't see, the feeling was truly indescribably wonderful. Warmth suddenly surged in Lo Binghe's heart. The more it surged, the stronger it became, gradually flowing through his entire body. Lo Binghe felt like a steady strength had taken root somewhere in the depths of his heart and was starting to bud. Even his hand, carrying the heavy wooden bucket, seemed to become stronger. Oh my god, he is evolving from his love. At this time, not only did Lo Binghe not feel like other people were making things difficult for him, his expression became joyful and satisfied. If Shen Qingqiu were there, he would definitely have suspected that, within the depths of his heart, Lo Binghe was actually an extreme masochist. However, Shen Qingqiu was astoundingly oblivious to the fact, thanks to the divine wingman of abilities of his useless teammate, Mingfan, Lo Binghe's favor had again risen to a new height. For the time being, Shen Qingqiu was lying down in elation. That day, the always lofty Qingjing Peak's doorstep almost broke from all the feet rushing across it. The various peak lords all brought their disciples to visit, along with gifts of condolence. After all, during Xia Hualing's armed provocation, the rainbow bridges had been severed, and Chongding Peak had been sealed by a barrier. They had been unable to intervene, and so the burden of the fight had fallen on Shen Qingqiu, who had been the sole representative of the older generation. Anyhow, Xiangchong Mountain hadn't lost too much face, but no matter whether their past relationship had been good or bad, the Peak Lords absolutely had to come and express proper sentiments. Shen Qingqiu calmly received their greetings and used the chance to learn their faces of several Peak Lords he hadn't met yet, while also taking the opportunity to make some small talk and strengthen his relationships. That night, he was on cloud 9 as he thought, finally, I can have a peaceful night's sleep. However, 4 hours later, peaceful night's sleep my ass! Shen Qingqiu stood in the middle of a stretch of a chaotic nothingness and stared out in the endless horizon. He'd definitely just been drunk on satisfied smiles, comfortably sinking into sleep in his bed, so could someone explain why he'd been dragged into the space? Shen Qingqiu really wished he had a gong so he could ring to summon the system, so he wouldn't need to always yell at the top of his lungs within his mind, "System, are you online?" The system provides you with 24-hour service. Where is this? What's the situation? This is a world within a dream realm. Ooh, dream realms always have weird gay shit in them. Of course I know this is a dream realm, said Shen Qingqiu. Tell me, how could such abstract scenery exist in reality? I'm asking why I'm here. Come on, he thought, please don't let it be what I'm thinking. But this world really wouldn't give him a break. Just as he thought, don't, in the next second, he saw a figure that was unbearably familiar. Lo Binghe stood before him, bewildered, in the middle of a never-ending wasteland. Oh no. He also seemed entirely lost as to why he'd appeared here. After a moment of bewilderment, Shen Qingqiu's form came into his view. Lo Binghe startled, then dashed over happily, like a chick who'd seen its mother hen. What kind of shitty analogy was that? Shizen! Lo Binghe had already been trapped in this world for quite a long time. He was instantly excited by the sight of Shen Qingqiu and called to him repeatedly again and again. As soon as Shen Qingqiu laid eyes on him, he recognized this place and the scenario he'd been thrust into. Instantly, all of Shen Qingqiu's hopes turned to dust, and even as a shower of tears rained down on his heart, he patted Lo Binghe's shoulder. I heard you. No need to call me so many times. Yes, Shizen, Lo Binghe said hurriedly. Why are you here too? Do you know where we are? Being lazy, Shen Qingqiu directly echoed the system's lines. This is a world within a dream realm. Then why am I here? Lo Binghe asked again. Anyone else being here is a strange thing. While your presence is quite natural, said Shen Qingqiu, this is your dream realm. Mine? Lo Binghe startled and backed up a step, looking at the endless, desolate land and sky. My dream realm actually looks like this? The dream realm, one's view of the world, reflected one's heart. Lo Binghe was so young, yet his mindscape wasn't filled with the red of flower and the green of willows, but this bleak scenery. Oh, that's so sad. One couldn't help feeling sorrow. Shunshin-cho pretended to ponder for a while. This is not an ordinary dream realm. I'm afraid that while you were unaware, someone tampered with it. The waves of spiritual energy within this dream are strong and unstable, though this master was inadvertently pulled in by you. This disciple is useless and involved Shizun once again. Lo Binghe's face was ashamed, but he considered this carefully. Exactly who would tamper with my dream realm? Shunshin-cho was ready with an answer, fully enjoying the experience of divulging spoilers. No need to think too hard. The borders of this dream realm churn with demonic chi, and any entity who would use such crude techniques undoubtedly must be a demon. Lo Binghe was unsurprised, and those words only deepened his hatred towards that race. The ways of demons are truly poisonous. Shunshin-cho wondered what sort of expression Lo Binghe would make in the future, thinking back on these words once he learned of his own demonic heritage. Not necessarily poisonous, said Shunshin-cho with a smile. Perhaps their intentions are the exact opposite. Someone not in the know couldn't hope to comprehend words spoken from his omniscient perspective. Lo Binghe didn't understand. What did his master mean? But Shunshin-cho's smile seemed profound, and the tail of his sentence was inflected lightly upwards in a somewhat teasing tone. It was the sort of hint that made people's imaginations run wild. Lo Binghe stopped there, not daring to think about it further. In truth, Shunshin-cho didn't intend to tease. He thought himself very straightforward. The one who'd tampered with Lo Binghe's dream realm was Xia Hualing. Though she did have some harmful intentions, her underlying motive was obvious. Naturally, she was driven by a young girl's secret yearning for love. Otherwise, she would have directed her aggressions toward others, not specifically Lo Binghe. Demons were compelled to viciously bully the person they liked. Only if the object of their affections failed to die would the demon accept them. If their target died, that meant they were useless and not worth nursing any lingering affections for. This dream realm is rather complicated, said Shunshin-cho. An ordinary nightmare technique couldn't trap me. I can dispel those with a mere thought. But this dream realm was truly meticulously constructed. I'm afraid that until the core of the illusion is destroyed, no one will be able to leave. Even Shizun would be trapped in this dream realm forever? Lo Binghe asked, anxious. Shunshin-cho glanced at him. You will be too. That doesn't sound so bad. Lo Binghe's mind jolted, his face going from red to white. It's all this disciple's fault. The situation is what it is. It is what it is, so there's no use decrying it, said Shunshin-cho. We should devise a solution as soon as possible, dispel the barrier, and take our leave. Lo Binghe silently nodded and followed behind Shunshin-cho as they headed towards the dream realm's border. Shunshin-cho's face was smooth and unchanging, but his mind was a stormy sea. He was having intense back and forths with the system. System alert. You are now entering an important subplot scenario, the Dream Demon, Meng Mao's barrier. During this subplot, please make sure to assist Lo Binghe in defeating Meng Mo's illusion. Otherwise, 1,000 satisfaction points will be deducted. Ooh. There it was again, always deducting satisfaction points, and every time it was a heart attack-inducing number. That's not good. After assiduously working for so long, Shunshin-cho had only managed to scrounge a couple of satisfaction points here and there, while the system could remove 1,000 points and a single deduction. Was this really fair? As a person, no. As a system, you shouldn't be so inflexible. That wasn't the main point, though. The main point was that this was the wrong script. Let us summarize this scenario's original setup. Lo Binghe was pushed into Meng Mo's sphere of influence, but before danger struck, he instinctually sought protection and pulled the person he trusted most into the barrier with him. Shunshin-cho urgently called to the system. Master, good master, esteemed master, there's been a bug, right? In this section, Lo Binghe should be cozying up with a maiden, and the maiden is responsible for unraveling his complexes and using love to help him defeat his inner demons. How come I've been thrust into this role? I think you know. Where's the promised deep and emotional heart-to-heart where she's accepted into his harem? I think you know. Where is the promised little Shimei who refuses to leave him either in life or in death? Our system inspection failed to find a bug. The system is running normally. No bug. That meant that in this scenario, Shunshin-cho either had to carry out that role or die. Oh my god. You have to fix him with the power of love. Oh, brother. This was the butterfly effect. Originally, the one who was pulled into Lo Binghe's nightmare was Ning Yingying. As Lo Binghe's closest, most trusted confidant on Qingjing Peak in their early story, this gate-crashing, intimacy-building task was clearly her job. What was happening now? How had the hat of closest, most trusted confidant nonsensically landed on Shen Qingqiu's head? I would like to express that I am overwhelmed by this honor, but I don't at all want to accept this special distinction. Shizun, what's wrong? Lo Binghe asked in concern, seeing his unreadable expression. Shen Qingqiu promptly pulled himself together. Nothing's wrong, he said calmly. This master was thinking that demons who manipulate dream realms often target the weaknesses of the human heart. You must be vigilant and on your guard. Kate, this ain't book talk, it's Dan Mei, Shen Qingqiu. Lo Binghe nodded, his expression firm. This disciple definitely won't allow Shifu to be dragged in again. This was miserable. Not only had Shen Qingqiu been thrust into a dangerous situation, on top of that, he had to assume the task of playing out the maiden's role. Shen Qingqiu absolutely didn't want to charge through a mountain of knives or a sea of fire with the male lead to confront the terrifying master Meng Mo, while also blocking knives for him and even providing free psychological therapy. That said, complaining was useless. In the past, when he'd been faced with this kind of situation, his habit had been to cuss out Airplane shooting towards the sky. But honestly, Great Master, Airplane, was also innocent. He was a proper Upright Stallion novel author, and he definitely wouldn't have wanted something like this to happen in his work. A healthy maiden being replaced by a Scum villain? How disheartening. Ordinary readers would throw the book to the floor. Pfft. Ha ha ha. The two of them kept walking, the clouds above the scenery around them like a kaleidoscope, sometimes lengthening and twisting and at other times shattering into thousands of fragments, always erratic. The pictures formed by the world they walked through was exceedingly eerie, like people had been illustrated by Da Vinci, while the backgrounds had been illustrated by Picasso. The style clash was extraordinarily intense. Suddenly, from within the dense layers of cloud emerged the buildings of a city. They stopped in their steps. Lo Binghe looked at Shen Qingqiu, waiting for his signal. Counter soldiers with arms and floods with earthen dams, Shen Qingqiu muttered to himself. We deal with whatever situations arise as appropriate. Forward. As they walked to the city gates, Lo Binghe raised his head, his expression becoming slightly puzzled. Shen Qingqiu knew very well what he was thinking, that this city looked very familiar. Of course it was familiar. This was the city Lo Binghe had wandered while homeless during his childhood. The city gates naturally had no guards defending them and slowly opened by themselves. Shen Qingqiu led him inside. This dream was frightening in its realism. When abstract, it was so abstract that it became blobs of colors. When photorealistic, it was so photorealistic as to be indistinguishable from reality. The city streets, markets, residents, vendor stalls, every single one was intricate enough to make your hair stand on end. Lit brightly with lamps, with people coming and going, from a distance it looked bustling and lively. But once Shen Qingqiu drew close, even though he had long prepared himself, his heart still almost escaped his ribcage. These people moving about were to one faceless. Ooh. Every visage was a blurry mass, features unclear, and none of them made a sound. They didn't seem like living people at all, yet they still milled around, wandering back and forth. The entire city was deathly silent, its busyness entirely uncanny. Lo Binghe had never seen a scene like this. Shizun, he said, aghast. What are these things? Shen Qingqiu was panicking a little from terror, but he still took on the duty of being an expository encyclopedia. This is an illusionary city created via a nightmare. In the dream realm, one can create inanimate objects such as buildings and trees, but not living people. At most, they can be fashioned to this extent, speechless monsters that lack noses and faces. Even so, to be able to construct something on the scope of a city and make it nearly like unto reality, I'm afraid it can only be one person. Lo Binghe was incredibly cooperative, and he humbly sought instruction. One person? Meng Mo. Meng Mo, the dream demon, was the boss of this instance of a dream realm. Meng Mo's true identity was that of a famously brilliant and accomplished elder among demons. Several hundreds of years ago, a bout of divine punishment had destroyed his physical body, but his powerful spirit had endured, undamaged. From then on, he had become a parasite within others' dream realms, subsidizing by absorbing their spiritual energy and vitality. At the same time, he was also one of the protagonist's teachers on his road to becoming a demon. Thus, we can give him a more direct and intimate nickname, the Portable Grandfather. What? Meng Mo was the one who, after Lo Binghe broke through the barrier, formulaically took a liking to the protagonist, formulaically taught him everything about his lost arts, and formulaically, from the point forth, occasionally helped the male lead think up plans for taking care of small fry. Lo Binghe wanted to ask a few more questions, but then his eyes involuntarily swept through the crowd and froze for a split second. Despite knowing the answer, Shen Jingqiu asked, "What's wrong?" "Faces," Lo Binghe blurted out. "Shizen, just now, I think I saw people with faces." Shen Jingqiu readily heeded his word and kept it concise. "We follow." They closely trailed the few figures who were incongruous with the people and style of the surroundings, turning and twisting through the city until they finally stopped before an alley. In total, there were 5 people with faces. They appeared to be 5 youths, each equipped with noses and features. The 4 taller figures surrounded one on the ground, and they cursed and yelled incessantly. Words like little mongrel and bastard poured from their mouths. They completely failed to notice the 2 people behind them. "It looks like they can't see us," said Lo Binghe. He looked at Shen Jingqiu as if to ask, "Didn't you say Meng Mo was incapable of creating people with complete features?" "Time for more angst!" Shen Jingqiu heaved a sigh in his heart. Meng Mo indeed cannot create people using nightmares, but he didn't create these individuals. Lo Binghe, look more closely at their faces. Lo Binghe slowly turned his gaze towards them. Although this expression didn't change much, in a flash, a drop of cold sweat dripped down his forehead. "These are not illusions created by Meng Mo," said Shen Jingqiu. "These are projections of real people from your memories. Meng Mo only awakened these reflections from the memories sleeping within your mind." But Lo Binghe could no longer hear him. He placed his hands on his temples, and it seemed as if his head was twitching. "Oh no!" Shen Jingqiu knew that Lo Binghe's inner demons had already struck. Those 4 rowdy youths surrounded the child in the alley, who appeared to be only around 4 or 5 years old. Who the fuck is bullying a 4-year-old? That's crazy. As they punched and kicked him, that shabbily dressed child had covered his head with both arms, curled up on the ground, soundlessly taking the beating. It really made one worry that they would beat the young one to death. "This little mongrel sure is blind, daring to enter our territory and snatch our food. Must be tired of living. Step on him, step on him. He's so pitiful, right? Hungry with nothing to eat, right? Beat him to death and he won't have to worry about that." Jeez. Oh my god. Lo Binghe's head hurt like it was splitting open. That small, frail figure on the ground was his young self from the past, though the disheveled hair and blood-stained face, 2 bright eyes like stars, that like sharp swords lancing forward, met his gaze. Lo Binghe was completely unable to look away. "Pull yourself together," Shen Jingqiu said lowly. "It's only an illusion." However, the terrifying thing about Meng Mo was that he specialized in summoning the human heart's deepest terror, rage, and misery in order to destroy a person's psychological defenses. To Lo Binghe, who had already activated his god mode cheats, the power of 10,000 Meng Mos together would amount to little more than parlor tricks. But the Lo Binghe now, whose demonic blood had yet to awaken, was trapped in the dream realm and his dark memories. All he could see was his own powerlessness. Suddenly, the alley scene distorted, transforming into another one. Not good, Shen Jingqiu thought. A second killing blow without time to prepare. They were in a broken-down little hut. The hut only had 1 bed. A crooked little table with dimly lit oil lamp on top and a small wooden bench. On the bed lay a haggard old woman. Oh, it wasn't what I was thinking. With great effort, she tried to prop herself up, but from beginning to end, she was unable to do so. A small figure rushed in from outside. A tender-faced Lo Binghe, only a little over 10 years old, supported the woman. Around his neck hung that jade pendant. "Mother, why are you getting up again?" he asked anxiously. "Didn't we say it's fine to rest?" The woman coughed. "Lying down doesn't help with anything. Might as well get up and wash the clothes." "I already finished washing," said little Lo Binghe. "Mother, lie down and wait for me to finish simmering your medicine. You can work after you take it and get better." The woman's face was ashen, her sickness long beyond cure, and she had little time left to live. She smiled while patting Lo Binghe's head. "Binghe is so sweet." "Oh." Little Lo Binghe lifted his face, forcing himself to smile. "What does Mother want to eat?" "These days I have less and less appetite." The woman paused, then hesitantly added, "The last time our house's young master threw out his white congee, I did wish for a bit of a taste. I wonder if the kitchens have any left." Little Lo Binghe vigorously nodded. "I will go ask for Mother." Oh, she dies before she ever gets to taste it. Oh. Just asking is enough, the woman warned him again and again. If there's none left, then just make something light and soupy. As long as it fills the stomach, it's fine. Absolutely do not request any from the chef. Lobingha promised profusely, then ran out like the wind, his feet clapping against the ground. After lying down for a while, the woman fell beneath her pillow for a needle and thread and started doing needlework. The lamplight in the hut became dimmer and dimmer. While Lobingha's mind was unclear, he reached out, trying to grasp something. Then Shen Qingqiu grabbed his hand. Lobingha, he said forcefully, look carefully. This isn't your mother, and you are no longer that helpless child who could only endure humiliation. One of the things that made this nightmare so lethal was that the more agitated the trapped victim became, the more damage it would do to their mind. Lobingha's present extreme instability was terribly harmful to his spirit. Another dangerous thing that you needed to remember was that you absolutely could not attack the people who appeared in your dream realm. Every single person was formed from the mind and consciousness of the dream realm's host. As soon as you attacked them, you would also be attacking your own brain. Many people, not knowing this or unable to control their emotions, attacked the people in the dream realm who'd hurt them in the past and thereby sent themselves into a coma. If Lobingha fell into that state, Shen Qingqiu would of course also be trapped in his dream with him. The scenery around them shifted erratically. This nightmare was a collection of Lobingha's misfortunes and traumas from his short decade-plus year of life. The scene suddenly transformed into little Lobingha pleading with the house chef to grant his adopted mother a bowl of congee before being ridiculed by the manor's young master. Then it became the time right after he joined Qingjing Peak, when he'd been subjected to exclusion and spite by his numerous shishong, his frail form straining as he swung a rusty axe or carried pails of water up the long stairs as his steps slowed more and more, then the moment when his treasured jade pendant was snatched away, never to be found. The disordered scenes piled up as they came, one after another without pause. The present Lobingha could neither see nor hear anything beyond this maelstrom of images and memories. Within his head there was only an ongoing explosion of hatred, despair, suffering, helplessness, and fury from those times, churning endlessly with his chest and his mind. The only way to dispel this nightmare would be to undo the tangles in one's heart, thereby causing the nightmare to collapse on itself. But Lobingha's fists were tightly clenched. Cracking sounds came from his fingers. His breathing grew increasingly unsteady. His eyes turned an unnatural red, and a faintly discernible current of spiritual power coursed around him, as if his desire to attack were growing near irresistible. Standing near him was surprisingly dangerous, thought Shen Qingqiu. Don't attack them, Shen Qingqiu said harshly. Even if you hit them, you'll be the one who's injured. Lobingha could no longer hear his words. He lifted his right arm, and a powerful spiritual blast flew forth from his palm, hurtling straight forward to destroy the people laughing freely within the illusion. No, that's your own brain you're punching! Shen Qingqiu cried out within his heart. No matter how painful his body still understood its duties. He rushed over, throwing himself before the illusions, blocking the spiritual blast head-on. It struck his lower abdomen. Oh my god. He jumped in front of him again. He saved him again. In that instant, Shen Qingqiu felt like he'd been stomped on by an elephant, his vision going dark. If this weren't the dream realm, he'd have vomited an endless fountain of blood, as expected of the protagonist. Shen Qingqiu's face was drenched with tears. Lobingha was obviously only a young disciple, so how could he release such a powerful spiritual blast? It seemed that ever since he'd unlocked the OOC function, not only had he not accomplished any grand achievements, the only thing he'd done aside from blocking blows was block more blows, and also block some blows. He was doing just grand as a self-sacrificial meat shield, wasn't he? With this attack of Lobingha's, the illusion around them was broken, and the people and objects all shattered like glass into thousands of shards. The illusory landscape transformed into a remote, forested wilderness. The sky was a dark blue, and the lone, cold moon hung high and golden above their heads. Lobingha's mind instantly cleared. He first stared blankly, speechlessly, at the half-kneeling Shen Qingqiu, who was unable to stand. Then he lowered his head to look at his own palm, where a shred of remaining spiritual power was still flowing through his fingertips. Vaguely remembering what he'd just done, his face turned stark white. Lobingha threw himself to Shen Qingqiu's side to support him, both worried and regretful. Shizhen, why didn't you hit back? Oh my god. He saved him. He helped him. This is crazy. With Shen Qingqiu's level of spiritual power, he would have been wholly capable of returning Lobingha's spiritual blast, forcing their powers to collide and directly pitting them against each other until the stronger one won. Not only could he have dissolved Lobingha's attack, he could have deflected it back on him. Foolish child, Shen Qingqiu said simply, expressing his innermost feelings. Then he continued weakly. The point was to ensure you wouldn't be injured. If I deflected it back and injured you, what would be the purpose of that? The frail voice made Lo Binghe want to strike his own heart and kill himself. But now the one injured is Shizen! It hadn't been long since they fought those 3 matches against the Demon Realm, and Shizen had already, again, been injured for his sake. And this time, by his own hand! Oh my god, this is like when Ming hurts Shay Lian. Shen Qingqiu saw the self-blame and misery on that child's face about to overflow, and unable to stand it, he said consolingly, Can your cultivation compare to mine? Even if this master took several more blows, it wouldn't matter. Lo Binghe would have preferred Shen Qingqiu be as he had in the past and vent his anger by viciously beating and cursing him. Even if he were utterly ignored, scorned, and ridiculed, it would have been better and easier on his heart. On the contrary, Shen Qingqiu's tone and words were unerringly gentle, and so Lo Binghe was struck dumb and speechless, completely at a loss for what to do. After a long moment, he said in a low voice, It's all my fault. The early Lo Binghe indeed walked the path of a brainless moe white lotus. Shen Qingqiu figured he'd once again fallen into the self-flagellating pattern of an anxious people-pleaser. It has nothing to do with you, Shen Qingqiu explained patiently. The ways of demons are extremely unpredictable and impossible to guard against. However, if you don't want to run into similar trouble while in the future, you must become stronger. These words were spoken purely out of his personal feelings. This was a world of immortals and monsters, where the strong ate the weak. Becoming stronger was the only way to guarantee that you wouldn't become cannon fodder to be pushed around by the world. Requital is a big word for Elmo. Why do you laugh and not cry? Why are you not asking for requital? Oh my god, that's so funny. Guys, I'll be right back. I have to pee. I'll BRB. Oh my god. That's a lot of mutiny. Ah, shit. I lost the fucking page. Oh, did I catch it? I did catch it. Haha. The why do you not seek requital is from the TGCF dub. A lot of mutiny. Oh my god, this is a lot. I'm scrolling forever. Holy shit. 07, sorry, Shizen. Okay. Let us continue. Why do you laugh and not cry? Okay. Oh, out loud? Just kidding. The ways of demons are extremely unpredictable and impossible to guard against. However, if you don't want to run into similar trouble in the future, you must become stronger. These words were spoken purely out of his personal feelings. This was a world of immortals and monsters, where the strong ate the weak. Becoming stronger was the only way to guarantee that you wouldn't become cannon fodder to be pushed around by the world. Lobingha's thoughts shifted, and without speaking, he suddenly raised his head, fixing his steady gaze on Shen Qingqiu. Shen Qingqiu's heart thumped. Lobingha's eyes, dark like obsidian, flashed with a light more dazzling than the reflection of the moon and stars. That look in his eyes, that kind of protagonist look, full of resolute conviction and blazing fighting spirit. Could it be I've already become the protagonist's guiding star on his life path going forward? Lobingha fell into a proper kneeling position by Shen Qingqiu's side. I understand, he said in a strong, clear voice. Wait, what did you understand this time? Can you not say only half your words every time? Tell me the rest. Shen Qingqiu didn't notice that. As Lobingha spoke this sentence, he didn't use this disciple to address himself. Lobingha tightly clenched his fist. This kind of thing, he said, enunciating each word. I definitely won't let it happen a second time. Letting Shizun protect his weak self, letting Shizun be injured because of him, this kind of thing absolutely could not happen again. Shen Qingqiu let out an, oh. Oh. What's going on? He suddenly had this protagonist is protecting me. I feel so safe kind of feeling. What exactly was going on? Oh my god. Safe your ass. This person will carve you into a human stick in the future. Wake up. Shen Qingqiu was filled with a plethora of complex emotions. Fuck. Originally, this conviction to become stronger to protect my important person should have been inspired by the protagonist seeing the female lead's frail, lovely, and delicately panting form after she sustained an injury while helping him. Was the system lying all the emotional labor associated with the female lead's role on Shen Qingqiu? Oh my god. To hand out the wrong script at this point. Also, if you're giving me extra parts, could you at least offer me complimentary meals? Taking on a main character's long and tedious lines while being paid an extra's thin and meager wages, this was labor exploitation. Out of selfishness, Shen Qingqiu managed to lift a hand and pat Lobingha on the head. Lobingha's original stubborn gaze froze as if a handful of clear spring water had doused his flickering anger. Shen Qingqiu thought for a moment. Actually, you need not worry too much. If you cannot become strong, I will stay by your side and protect you. Instead of letting Lobingha become that pitch-black basket case of a young man who made destroying the world his personal mission, it'd be better if he could stay this delicate little white lotus forever. Shen Qingqiu absolutely wouldn't have minded keeping this iteration of Lobingha by his side and taking care of him for a lifetime. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my god, that's so sweet. Joe said, Shen Qingqiu, at least pay for my dinner before you wife plot me. Aww. These were his simple thoughts, but to the person hearing his words, they didn't sound so simple. Lobingha was wholly dumbfounded. No one had ever made such a straightforward and impassioned promise to him. Even though the world was large, few people in it could say, you need not become strong. I am here, and of course I won't let you be bullied. And they weren't empty words. If Shizun said he could do it, he could. He had already proven time and again with his actions that he would rather sustain grievous injury than let Lobingha suffer even a tiny bit of harm. Still, the sense of indulgence within these words was too much to bear. As that first surge of warmth slowly subsided, a burning heat crawled up Lobingha's face. Oh my god, when your respect for Shizun changes to a crush on Shizun. Shen Qingqiu coughed for a while, miserably discovering that coughing up blood within the dream realm was impossible, then pinched Lobingha's arm. All right, first help me up. Lobingha realized that where his wrist had been pinched neither hurt nor itched. Instead, it tingled. Immediately, he also realized his thoughts were overstepping and scolded himself a little. Thinking such nonsense at a time like this, how disrespectful to Shizun. He hurriedly organized his thoughts and did as he was told. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's real. Suddenly a voice sounded out of nowhere. That hoarse, aged voice made an inquisitive noise and said, You're quite something to actually break through this elder's barrier, boy. That voice echoed all around them. It was impossible to determine which direction it had come from. This level's boss had finally appeared. Lo Binghe was supporting Shen Jingqiu and didn't rise to his feet, his gaze wary. Meng Mo had appeared while Shen Jingqiu was injured, and things were not looking good. Lo Binghe resolved to himself that if Meng Mo tried to attack, even with his paltry strength, he would still give his all to impede him and earn Shen Jingqiu every possible chance of survival. The instant he made his decision, that voice spoke again. Come over here and let this elder see what kind of young hero is capable of such a thing. Lo Binghe looked at Shen Jingqiu. The latter's entire mind was filled with the thought of, I finished my friendship performance, I can finally leave work now. And he was extremely cheerful. He even felt like teasing his student. The senior is asking for the young hero, he said. Why don't you reply? Lo Binghe's face reddened. He turned and spoke in a clear voice. You flatter me. The barrier was broken by my master's strength alone. The voice humphed as if in disdain. Shen Jingqiu knew why he'd humphed. Though he had blocked an attack for Lo Binghe, this was Lo Binghe's dream realm, so Lo Binghe had needed to wrest back control of his consciousness before the nightmare could be broken. But Shen Jingqiu couldn't be bothered to explain. The voice spoke. This elder wants you to come over, boy, but I don't want this ordinary cultivator from Changchong Mountain to hear our conversation. I'll have him sleep first. As expected, the circumstances were exactly the same as when Ning Yingying had played the role in the original story. Everyone aside from Lo Binghe would be waved off stage by Meng Mo. A headache instantly came over Shen Jingqiu, and he collapsed heavily. Alarmed, Lo Binghe gathered him in his arms. Shizhen, he called. Shizhen! No need to worry, said Meng Mo. This elder only sent him into a dream within a dream. He's just in a deeper sleep. Get over here, you. Inception. This time it was possible to discern that the voice was coming from a pitch-black cave off to the west. Lo Binghe couldn't wake Shen Jingqiu. He carefully laid his master on the ground and turned to speak in the direction of the voice. My master acknowledged you as a senior, so I must treat you with the same courtesy. I hope you also won't cause Shizhen trouble. Meng Mo chuckled. I saw your memories, boy. This master of yours does not treat you well. Why not let me get rid of him? I would be doing you a favor. The memories Meng Mo had looked at were mostly those of the interactions between the original Shen Jingqiu and Lo Binghe. Those memories were indeed the greatest in number, but... Lo Binghe shook his head. Shizhen isn't like you said, senior. In addition, no matter what, Shizhen is my honored master. He can treat me however he likes. But as his disciple, I cannot disrespect him. Meng Mo humphed. How backward! The human realm's righteous path is full of this type of hypocritical morality. So what if he's honored or not? Your master or whatever. If someone mistreats or harms me, they should be killed. He knew your cultivation was not sufficient to face Skyhammer, yet he still sent you out for that match. Were his intentions not clear? At that time, even I didn't believe I could win, said Lo Binghe. But Shizhen believed in me. Not only did he give me an opportunity, he even encouraged me during the match, and in the end, I truly did win. The next sentence he said silently and only to himself. For my sake, Shizhen blocked 2 attacks meant for me. His goodwill is genuine. Meng Mo had only randomly skimmed some memory fragments. He didn't understand Shen Jingqiu's behavior, nor did he want to unravel the issue, though he was quite pleased with Lo Binghe's attitude. You, boy, are a person who values loyalty and bonds. Not even 1,000 of how Shizhen does towards me, Lo Binghe, oh my god, said. He's so down bad. Oh my god, like annoyingly so. Like not actually annoying, but like he just keeps referring back to Shizhen for everything. Meng Mo's like, oh my god, we get it. You like your Shizhen, jeez. If Meng Mo had a mouth, its corner would have been twitching. He opted to change the topic. After murmuring for a moment, he said, This elder senses that within your body, something is being suppressed, even though I cannot tell exactly what it is. It must be something surpassingly remarkable. His giant boner for Shizhen. Lo Binghe was a little shocked. What sort of thing is it that even you can't tell? Meng Mo chuckled. My race produced master cultivators in droves. It is not impossible that a demon more illustrious than this elder sealed something within your body. In any case, Meng Mo surely wasn't so eager to throw away his several hundred-year-old reputation that he'd waste time in tricking an impoverished teenager who had nothing. Nevertheless, Lo Binghe stared in disbelief. Does Senior mean that the thing in my body is related to demons? What? Are you displeased? Meng Mo asked sneeringly, eager to serve any connection with the demon race. Oh, eager to sever any connection with the demon race? Lo Binghe's state of shock didn't last for too long. His thoughts whirled rapidly before he declared, The demon realm does many evils of all kinds and has injured my master multiple times. Naturally, I cannot associate with them. Meng Mo became depressed. Can you go 3 sentences without mentioning that master of yours, boy? I called it. Let the elder guess. The next thing you want to ask is, may I ask the senior if there is a method to remove this something from my body? Lobingha smiled wryly. Even if I ask, would the senior tell me? Mengmo laughed boisterously. It's not that I don't want to tell you, but that it's truly beyond me. I can't even see it clearly. How can I tell you how to remove it, if not for the fact that I couldn't make sense of you, boy? I would have already killed you both. Why else would I care to drag this out for so long? You think I have that much time on my hands? Lobingha didn't speak. He was thinking, you don't even have a body anymore. You're just a shade being a parasite on others' dream realms. If Mengmo didn't have time, who did? Mengmo, unaware that Lobingha was internally ridiculing him, continued, removing it would be impossible for me, but suppressing it is not out of the question. Wow, it's almost like the poison that Shanting-Cho just got. Senior is willing to tell me how? Lobingha asked tentatively. Not only can this elder teach you how to suppress it, he can teach you much more, said Mengmo, leadingly. This implication was extremely blatant, and Lobingha understood. His heart sank. You want me to cultivate the demonic path? As his tone turned cold, Mengmo's temper flared. What's wrong with cultivating the demonic path? If you cultivate the demonic path, the thing in your body will bring great benefits to your cultivation. You could leap 1,000 kilometers in a day. You could stand above the thousands. These are not empty words. With time, your power could overturn and sweep away the entirety of 3 realms and the heaven and earth within, and it would all be simple. At that last part, Lobingha's heart jolted. 1,000 kilometers in a day, stand above the thousands, the entirety of the 3 realms swept away before him. That was to say, he'd become strong, the strongest. Gojo Satoru! He quickly rejected this thought. Shanting-Cho hated the way of the demons more than anything. If he couldn't resist this Mengmo's temptations to become a demonic cultivator, how could he face this master? Whether Shanting-Cho would be thunderously angry or drown in depression, either way, Lobingha definitely didn't want to find out. No. So he resolutely refused. Mengmo sneered. If you refuse to learn from me, you won't be able to suppress the demonic energy in your body. It's hidden deeply now, and you're fine because it can't be seen, but this elder senses the seal in your body is weakening. One day, your water will break, and you will go full fucking demon. One day in the future, when that power breaks through, how will that good Shifu of yours treat you? He who abhors evil and makes eliminating demons and upholding justice his mission. Even as Mengmo articulated Lobingha's greatest worry, Lobingha clenched his teeth. This junior is but an ordinary cultivator, for whom achieving even foundation establishment is full of perils and hardships. Why do you insist I cultivate the demonic path? This question was way too high level. Other than the author, who could explain why all the great geniuses and masters were always crying and pleading for the protagonist to be their apprentice and disciple and son-in-law. No, in fact, even most authors probably didn't know the answer to this eternal riddle. You should appreciate others' kindness, boy. This elder can see that you are extraordinary. Would you rather all my knowledge vanish like smoke along with my physical body? How many people would beg for it to no avail? Lobingha showed no feeling on his face. At his refusal to reply, Mengmo felt a rush of ominous premonition. Sure enough, the next time Lobingha opened his mouth, he did so with a pure and harmless smile. Surely Senior isn't so eager to teach me because he's unwilling to let his knowledge vanish without a successor, right? He asked, slow and composed. Mengmo cried to himself, Not good! If one lives by feeding off of others' dream realms and one often changes hosts, one's spirit will weaken and suffer damage during the transfers, said Lobingha. But if one were to live long-term within a set host's body, one could instead persevere and nurture in the spirit to stabilize it. He paused. Senior Mengmo, could it be that you're already approaching your limit and that's why you have to pick me to be the host you'll raise? Having been seen through, Mengmo neither denied it nor became angry. Instead, he grandly admitted, That's right. Who'd have thought, boy, that you were actually so well-learned and knowledgeable that you'd even know something like that? Lobingha's expression was unperturbed. Unable to intuit what this boy was thinking, Mengmo continued, However, don't assume that this elder absolutely must have you as a host. Wonderfully gifted demons number in the millions. Any of them would beg on their knees for this special honor. You're the one who should carefully consider whether you can afford to miss this opportunity. In truth, over these long years, Mengmo's spirit had steadily degenerated. He had originally resided within a demonic device and happily lived there. With 180 years of meditation, he would have been brimming with energy again. But it just so happened that Xia Hualing, unaware of this, had at the end of the series of absolute coincidences, used the device as a weapon and unloaded it on Lobingha. Consequently, Mengmo had not the strength to search for another host. But on the road to his doom, he'd unexpectedly discovered that, buried within the body and consciousness of the boy he newly resided in, lay a concealed, a faintly discernible yet incredible power. He'd been ecstatic. How could he have let this go? He'd already decided that no matter how adamantly Lo Binghe refused, he'd wheedle and pester, making threats and promises. Even if it meant exhausting every single method he had, he would persuade the boy to learn his demonic techniques in order to make Lo Binghe's body and consciousness an even more suitable residence for him. This elder will give you time, so think through it carefully, said Meng Mo. Otherwise, I'll trap you in your master's consciousnesses within the dream realm forever. This elder is capable of that much. Lo Binghe's head snapped up. For an instant, a cold light flashed in the youth's eyes. Meng Mo froze, intimidated. Oh, there's a picture. Look at him standing up to him. Right now, you are discussing terms with me, and you are free to say anything. Lo Binghe's gentle and humble demeanor from moments before was entirely gone, his voice bitterly cold. But if you harm Shizen, any agreement is void. Meng Mo was frozen a long time before he finally returned to himself, stunned that he'd actually been terrorized by the presence of an ordinary, insignificant cultivator of the human realm. He had intimidated souls throughout the three realms for hundreds of years. Even in the miserable battle where his corporal body had been destroyed, he had not lost to anyone in terms of presence. How could he have known that in the future generations this presence would be called, the protagonist exclusive, Aura of Badassery? The cave exploded with a sudden bellowing laughter. Boy, you really have quite the temper. As that ancient voice said those words, Lo Binghe felt his limbs become heavy, the scenery around him spinning before he was plunged into darkness. In a flash, and with a start, Lo Binghe awoke inside the woodshed, his back utterly drenched with sweat. At the same time, Shen Jingqiu also sprang up in bed, like a corpse coming alive after death. Head dizzy and vision spinning, he gasped for breath for a while, and only then did he finally relax. Horrible, 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 horrible enough to die. How come? How come when in the original book, Meng Mo dragged Ning Ying Ying into a dream within a dream, her dream was a comforting childhood memory wherein her parents let her pick flowers and ride horses? How come on his term, he had his first been surrounded by fist-sized man-eating wasps, then been dashing madly through the narrow passages of a tomb while closely pursued by a giant ball of fire? That's like the most boy nightmare I could ever describe. The most terrifying thing was that, in the final part of the dream within a dream, Meng Mo had woven in Shen Jingqiu's greatest fear. Within a damp, dark dungeon, he had been suspended in mid-air by a ring around his waist, unable to feel his limbs. When he opened his mouth, no sound came out. He could only helplessly hiss. His entire body burned with pain. Only after an unknown length of time passed did the sound of a stone door opening drift from outside the dungeon. Footsteps, neither fast nor slow, steadily approached. Then the shadow of a person was cast on the floor before him. On an ink-black hem, exquisite motifs were embroidered in silver thread. From that person emanated an ice-cold pressure, more stifling than the dungeon's airless darkness. Shen Jingqiu couldn't clearly see that person's face, but he knew very well who they were. Meng Mo truly deserved to be a legend among demons. That dream realm had been far, far too realistic. Even now, the damp odor of decay seemed to linger in Shen Jingqiu's nose, nauseating him. Shen Jingqiu managed to keep sitting for a while, then he rolled off the bed and began to retch. Ding dong! Now, all of the fucking times, a system notification sprang up. Congratulations on completing a scenario. Meng Mo's barrier. The system awards you 500 plus satisfaction points. Please continue to work hard. Shen Jingqiu made a stop gesture and still had enough in him to try settling debts. Let's have a proper discussion, he said. When you threatened to deduct the satisfaction points, it wasn't 500, right? Why not set it at 500 for both? A large punishment and small reward really fair? And I went through the extra scenario of the dream within a dream, so why haven't you awarded my extra B points to me? System, don't play dead. Let's sign a new contract. At this moment, someone slammed open the bamboo house's front door and rushed inside like a gust of wind. Shizen! Shen Jingqiu knew who it was just from the sound. He miserably rolled his eyes. He really didn't want to see that face right now. Lo Binghe had already thrown himself to Shen Jingqiu's side, overflowing with anxiety. Shizen, how are you? Do you feel the least bit unwell? Truthfully, not too terrible. If you could stay a bit further away, I'd feel even better. Shen Jingqiu averted his face with unyielding strength and poise, stood by himself. Everything is well, and with this master. Lo Binghe had wanted to help him up, yet his hand had been reflexively shoved away. He couldn't help but freeze. Shen Qingqiu didn't notice these small shifts in Lo Binghe's emotions. He tidied his clothes, verifying to himself that even though he wore only an inner robe, his image remained spotless. Oh my god, Lo Binghe is so gay now. He went to the dream that makes you gay. Did that Meng Mo trouble you further afterward? Trouble my ass. Meng Mo would have been falling over himself to lick Lo Binghe's boots, Shen Qingqiu was asking despite knowing. Lo Binghe hesitated a bit before replying. That demon elder's spiritual strength seemed to have been lacking. The disciple was expelled from the dream realm after a short while. Shizun, did you encounter anything inside the dream within a dream? Even if I did encounter something, could this master not handle it? Shen Qingqiu boasted shamelessly. Of course he could handle it. Even now, the shadow of being a human stick remained. With Lo Binghe so close to him, his entire body was tingling, and he couldn't help averting his gaze to suppress his fear. Oh my god, the tingling. Unsure of the reason for this, Lo Binghe only saw that Shen Qingqiu's expression was odd, his gaze no longer calmly looking straight at him like he usually did these days, and made his heart both fretful and anxious. Luckily, Shen Qingqiu adjusted his attitude with superlative quickness, remembering that he was a teacher and what he should do at the time. In the next instant, he reached out and took Lo Binghe's wrist. Being attacked by a demon is no joke, he said firmly. This master will examine you for a moment. We cannot be negligent. Yes, said Lo Binghe obediently, his wrist firmly held. His heart had just known a moment of ease, but now it was once more suspended. On the off chance Shen Qingqiu uncovered Meng Mo and exposed the peculiarity within his body afterwards, but though Shen Qingqiu diligently examined Lo Binghe, for a time he didn't detect anything off. Of course he didn't. Meng Mo had several hundred years' worth of skill and experience, and his celebrated reputation wasn't exaggerated in the slightest. However, Shen Qingqiu still had to go through the motions. His examination fruitless, he nevertheless repeatedly urged Lo Binghe to visit Chengchao Peak and Chongding Peak the next day, to let other people examine him, and finally to absolutely say something if an issue arose. Yet Lo Binghe had no intention of leaving. With the appearance of someone full of worries, he started and stopped speaking several times before asking, Shizun, demons, are they all wicked beyond redemption? Must every last one of them be exterminated? Shizun, is there any chance that maybe even you would marry a demon? Shen Qingqiu didn't reply to this question right away. He stood in place, indeed finding it difficult to answer. Seeing Lo Binghe petrified, forcibly keeping calm while also somewhat anticipating his teacher's answer, Shen Qingqiu spoke slowly. Humans can be good or bad, so naturally, demons too can be good or evil. We often see demons victimizing people, but that doesn't mean there aren't cases where humans harm innocent demons. Don't put too much weight on race. Wow, Shen Qingqiu just solved racism. This was the first time Lo Binghe had heard a teacher express this kind of opinion. He listened in a daze, heart thumping wildly. Shizun means even if someone is closely connected to demons, that doesn't mean the heavens find them intolerable? Is that right? How can you claim they're intolerable to the heavens in the first place? Shen Qingqiu countered. If they're intolerable, why would the heavens let them exist? Oh my god, this is like, am I going to hell if I'm gay, Shizun? Who has the authority to say whether they ought to be tolerated or not? During this chain of questions, Lo Binghe's eyes gradually lit up. There was within him a faint sense of burning passion. That feel when you thought your Shizun was homophobic, but actually he's just spitting beautiful facts? Lo Binghe, you may choose to ignore the words this master tells you from here on out, Shen Qingqiu said at last, but you must always remember what I've told you here today. In this world, there is nothing intolerable to the heavens. This is true for all races, as it's true for humans. Wow. At this time, though Lo Binghe's heart leaned towards the righteous path, he wasn't a pedant. In any case, since whatever was within him couldn't be removed, why not put it to good use? He absolutely had to become stronger, so strong that he would never be powerless, strong enough that he could protect Shizun from any hand that dared to reach for him. Sorry, Shizun, I gotta become a demon to protect you. He absolutely had to protect her, yeah. Seeing Lo Binghe's eyes so dazzlingly bright, Shen Qingqiu couldn't imagine what he was thinking, but his own thoughts were a jumbled mess. His advice this time wasn't coming purely from a place of having developed an addiction to being the sage guiding the protagonist's life journey. The idea of the heavens' magnanimity was a universal concept, older than time itself, and had been recycled like reheated old rice for decades by the historical wuxia and xianxia genres without the slightest hint of progress. But in this world of ocean-deep hatred between humans and demons, who were unable to coexist and who had engaged in countless great wars in the past up to the present, the concept was extremely unconventional. Anyone who exposed it risked unilateral condemnation. As someone of mixed lineage, it had been extremely difficult for the original Lo Binghe to avoid being impacted by human hatred of demons and vice versa. Since the greater half of his life had been harsh and full of misfortunes, he'd even begun to despair and think that perhaps the world and heavens both found his existence intolerable, that he should have never been born. Oh! Shen Qingqiu hoped that, from this point forth, these words could plant a seed within Lo Binghe's heart and broaden his perspective, that in the future, when facing the truth of his heritage, he could remain optimistic and not take attacks on his lineage to heart. Perhaps then his behavior wouldn't trend so extreme, and he wouldn't become bent on taking revenge on the world. Perhaps even if someday in the future Lo Binghe had to face Shen Qingqiu, who would throw him down into the endless abyss, he would be able to understand that this betrayal wasn't his fault. If that was possible, then even if the scenario arrived and the system forced Shen Qingqiu to say lines like, "Humans and demons cannot coexist, their hatred is ocean deep and cannot be overcome, you fucker, hurry up and die," thereby slapping himself so hard he sent himself flying, well, that would be that. Now that the atmosphere had grown heavy, Shen Qingqiu felt he'd gone overboard with his cool act. With his terror of embarrassment about to erupt, he coughed once. That said, demons are naturally gifted with spiritual strength, far more so than humans, he said. If their strength could be used for good and was dedicated to the righteous path, to the common people, then how could that not be a good thing? This kind of sounds like Wei Wuxian. Demons had exceptional talent for cultivation and absolutely crushed the human realm in that arena. As the races were different, so too were their energy systems. Humans relied on spiritual qi, while demons relied on demonic qi, though Shen Qingqiu reckoned that the two were basically the same, with only the color and names being distinct. Maybe the demonic realm had good feng shui or something, but the vast majority of demons were born fully charged with demonic qi. At age 3, they could rip apart a human with their bare hands, and at age 8, they could split mountains and crack stone. That was a bit of an exaggeration. However, the truth was that many humans had only mediocre aptitude. Even after cultivating for several decades, they could often only achieve the skill level of a small demon infant. Even more humans were like dried up ponds, their spiritual strength practically a perfect egg, i.e. 0. These humans were often said to be lacking spiritual roots or absent from the lot for immortality. It couldn't get worse than that. If it weren't for the humans' comparative love of propagating, and for demons being generally sparse in number, the human realm would have long ago been colonized by demons. Honestly, they were just coasting on the fact that demon family planning was so strict. After suffering the torments of this world-changing journey, Shen Qingqiu hadn't slept the entire night. 2 dark bags had already appeared under his eyes. He waved his hand. "It's very late. If there's nothing else, go and rest." Lo Binghe immediately asked to be excused, but he hadn't walked far when he heard Shen Qingqiu call from behind. "Come back." Lo Binghe immediately turned back. "Does Shizen have any other instructions?" "The dorms are that way," said Shen Qingqiu. "Why are you walking the other direction?" The disciples' dormitories and the woodshed were both a left turn out the door, yet Lo Binghe had turned to the right. "This disciple wants to go to the kitchen first to prepare tomorrow's breakfast for Shizen," said Lo Binghe. "Oh, my Shayla! Oh!" Shen Qingqiu was in a bind. He really wanted to eat Lo Binghe's breakfast, but having a child cook for him instead of sleeping when it was already so late at night, didn't that sound like Cinderella and her stepmother? Either way, it seemed inhuman. In the end, Shen Qingqiu's conscience won over his stomach. He coughed. "Nonsense. It's the middle of the night. What is there to cook? Go back and sleep." Lo Binghe knew his master was worried about him not resting enough and agreed with a smile, but he still planned to sneak off to the kitchen to work later. Oh. Try to get through a kicked or Scum villain read through without mentioning 6 balls. Level impossible. 6 balls was a strong baby. Shen Qingqiu wanted to ask him if he was still sleeping in the woodshed, but after mulling it over for a moment, he concluded that youth still had their dignity. Asking him outright would be embarrassing. Moreover, even if he had Lo Binghe sleep in the disciples' dorms, the other students would take Mingfan's lead and bully him, steal his blankets and hide his shoes or whatever. The poor thing. Tomorrow, pack your things and come here, said Shen Jingqiu. Sleep in my room? What? Shizen, that's quite presumptuous. At first, Lo Binghe didn't understand what he meant. Shizen? There's a side room in the bamboo house. Starting tomorrow, you can move in there. Oh my god. If Lo Binghe had lived a little closer, then in the future it would be easier to have him make breakfast and clean up around the house. Shen Jingqiu's adaptability was, as always, as incredible as a record-breaking dick. Just a moment ago, he had been unable to even look Lo Binghe in the face, but now he dared to scheme how to make the great protagonist wait on him hand and foot, serve his tea, carry his water, wash his clothes, fold his blankets, etc. Being in the middle of fantasizing, he hadn't noticed said protagonist's reaction. Suddenly, Lo Binghe pounced on him like a tiger, capturing him in a tight embrace. Oh, oh my god. Caught off guard, Shen Jingqiu jumped in surprise. Then his face reddened. For the first time in his life, someone had wrapped him in a full-bodied embrace, and it wasn't a warm and gentle, jade-skinned maiden, but a youth brimming with tyrannical energy. Ah. Oh my god, oh my god. His first hug? Damn. Oh my god, he's an uber virgin. Shizen! Overflowing with happiness, Lo Binghe hugged him around the neck and refused to let go, crying in his ear over and over. Oh my god. Shen Jingqiu didn't know where to put his hands. After floundering for a bit, he placed them on Lo Binghe's head and stroked his hair. All right, you've cried out to me, hugged me, and made all this racket, and you aren't even embarrassed. You're already so big. It's not like you're a 10-year-old child. How do you think this looks? Oh my goodness. And they were roommates. Lo Binghe hadn't thought about it that deeply. When it was put that way, he grew suddenly ashamed. If he hadn't been overcome by a torrent of joy, he would have never dared to treat his normally aloof and removed Shizen like this. Though reluctant, he hurried to peel himself from Shen Jingqiu's body, his whole face red. Yes, this disciple has overstepped. When it came to asking for hugs, children under the age of 10 were moe, but the 15-year-old Lo Binghe was still moe. With a fresh and tender face like this handsome little sprout's, anything you did would be moe. Lo Binghe floundered for a while, at first a little flustered, but then he noticed that Shen Jingqiu's complexion didn't look particularly good. Even though Shen Jingqiu had the immortal body of a cultivator, he was haunted by old injuries and a lingering poison. Then, because of Lo Binghe, he had been dragged into Meng Mo's dream realm. He hadn't rested properly and was at his limit, so of course he looked a bit haggard. Lo Binghe didn't dare interfere with Shen Jingqiu's rest any longer, and grudgingly said his goodbyes. Nevertheless, he didn't return to the woodshed, though this time he made sure to take a detour before going to the kitchen. He promised himself that for the next long while, he would carefully watch over his master's diet and recuperation. As soon as Lo Binghe stepped out of the room, a system notification arrived. Protagonist satisfaction points plus 50. Shen Jingqiu was mystified. Why add another 50? System lag? Or had the system discovered its conscious and concluded that it had given him too little before? He doesn't realize it. Whatever, he was exhausted, so what if points were added? To the point there was no way his admittedly great self had earned that 50 with a single hug. Ha 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 ha. How many points is he gonna get when they fuck? Oh my god. The next day, Shen Jingqiu, it's like every time Lo Binghe nuts, he gets system points. The next day, Shen Jingqiu hadn't yet slept as long as he wanted before the fragrant scents of fish and rice wafted into his room and tempted him awake. Outside of the bamboo house, Lo Binghe had spent long hours preparing a meal with utmost care. The scent drew in a great number of Qingjing Peak disciples who were used to eating bland food. They hid off to the side, snooping. The system just explodes. Enraged, Mingfan and the others chewed their sleeve hems while watching the scene unfold, especially when Shen Jingqiu sat at the table and affectionately sang praises to Lo Binghe for his efforts and handiwork. As the two blissfully smiled at each other, their audience's grief and resentment reached its peak. Oh my god, they are like... Wow. Utterly shameless to use those licentious schemes and unorthodox methods to curry Shizen's favor. That evening, when Lo Binghe moved to his things to the side room of Shen Jingqiu's house, every last one of Qingjing Peak's disciples who had bullied Lo Binghe were wiped out. It was as if they had been struck by lightning from a clear sky, leaving their corpses scattered across the field. Though the words were moved by his things, In truth, it was only Lo Binghe moving himself. From the beginning, he'd never really had anything in the woodshed. His pillow? He had rested his head upon a bundle of straw he found. Blankets? His outer robe had covered him. And of course, Shenjing-cho had prepared the real deal for him already. Shenjing-cho had always thought that Lo Binghe's life was unbearably miserable, just a textbook case of child abuse. Changjiang Mountain sect was one of the major sects in the cultivation world. How could people's hearts have grown so dark in such a place? How could their resources be so lacking? That night, Lo Binghe lay on a normal bed for the first time in his life. Before, he had laid in a wooden basin floating down an icy river, then on the damp, cold ground, then between noisy streets, and then even in the mountain caves while roughing it out in the wild. It had become normal. Conversely, now that he was sleeping in a soft bed, in a tidy bamboo bed, his entire body felt light, floaty, like none of this was real. It was especially unreal when he thought of Shenjing-cho sleeping in the main room, just a wall away. That night, perhaps because Lo Binghe had too much on his mind, Meng Mo didn't appear in his dream realm. So Lo Binghe remained composed and waited. Sure enough, a few days later, Meng Mo appeared once more. Oh no. This time, Meng Mo didn't set up some mysterious barrier, having not intended to hide in the first place. Instead, he appeared directly in Lo Binghe's dream, though he did so in the form of a cloud of black mist. This cloud of black mist expanded and contracted before Lo Binghe's eyes, endlessly transforming, and that aged voice echoed from within it. What have you decided in these 3 days, boy? Does Senior Meng Mo not know my decision? Lo Binghe replied. Meng Mo chuckled. You have chosen a path you definitely won't regret. Remember this day, boy. Today is the beginning of your meteoric rise. What youth didn't dream of meteoric success? Meng Mo's words rang with grand heroic spirit. But Lo Binghe was unmoved. He only cupped his fist and bowed. This junior has one more request. What is it? Out with it! Hurry up and finish so you can finally become my apprentice, Meng Mo urged him on, not realizing that he was being far too optimistic. That is precisely what this junior wanted to speak about, said Lo Binghe. My master treats me with utmost kindness. I really can't appreciate under anyone else without his permission. Fine, Meng Mo interrupted before he could finish, at the end of his patience. This elder won't demand the title of master and apprentice. Is that enough? Sorry, I can't call you Shizen. I already got a Shizen. Had any extraordinary master ever come away with a worse deal? He was falling over himself to teach someone his people technique, yet he wouldn't even get to hear a student call him Shifu. How was his plight any different from that of an absolutely devoted yet bitterly suffering concubine who couldn't gain official status? Lo Binghe smiled. Then many thanks to Senior. He wasn't remotely willing to call anyone other than Shenjing-cho Shizen. As he eyed Lo Binghe, Meng Mo was sure that if he still had a physical body, his nose would have gone crooked with rage. This Lo Binghe was all cute and obedient in front of his master, just like a little white lotus. So then why was he so hard to deal with for other people? 2 completely different faces. He was practically a different person. This elder is going to die of rage. And that's chapter 3. Oh my goodness gracious. Thoughts and prayers? That a lot happened there. Shenjing-cho was so nice to him now. Oh my goodness. I think that talk that he had with Shenjing-cho about, like, is being a demon bad? And how Shenjing-cho worded it was, like, really beautiful. Jessica says, thank you for the story time, mother. Sugar Kiss, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Oh my god, thank you so much. Welcome Axel Taco, Zoider, Nezuke, Esper Lady. Oh no, Esper Lady. Esper Lady says, I love how he made him the kanji when he was in a coma. Right? Every single night for multiple hours he would make him fresh. Oh my gosh. And Miss Rosie, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you so much. Kenzie says, me in shock when you used your chair as a bookmark instead of your custom-made Kenzie Corner bookmark. I wanted it to be funny on the chair in case anyone came into the stream. They would know I was still reading. Would you still love me if I was a demon worm? Yeah, oh my gosh. I love how Shenjing-cho is like, I can't believe I am in the role that a woman was in the original book. Oh, Oh, Emma, thank you so much for gifting a membership as well. Thank you so much. Oh, Jessica, thank you. Jessica says, everyone remember to like the stream. Yes, if you click like on the stream, it really helps the algorithm promote for views and stuff. So thank you so much if you could do that. Bro can't stop being wife plotted. What are your thoughts and predictions? Okay, well, the whole thing that I really have no idea about is like, how the hell is Shen Jingzhou going to like kick him into the endless abyss? Like, they are such good like buddies now. Like how could he do that to him? I can't, like, oh my god, it's gonna be so bad. I don't want to read that. Because they're so, like, he gave him his own room. He gave Dobby a sock. Like, oh my god. Esprit Lady says, the part inside of you that's going to break out and be evil reminded me of Chen Geng in Stars of Chaos. Yes! Yes, we love a little demon inside a man. Oh boy, it is sad. Oh boy. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, I have no idea what happens next. The whole having the dream guy in his head is weird. So I wonder how that's gonna progress. Cause his demon shizen, not shizen. How far are we? We are this far. So it looks like halfway. A little bit over halfway, I guess. Oh, more than halfway, because there's like the giant character name guide, I guess. We're on page 191, and then it ends on it essentially ends on 290. So we have another 100 pages, I guess, to read. Kate says, by the way, I did fully fall asleep for like 10 minutes. Kicked her yelling, woke me up. I'm glad it worked. Are you glad you started it? Yes, I'm super glad. Oh, this is a little mushroom bookmark that I have right now. I think my Kenzie bookmark is in, what else was I reading? I think my Kenzie bookmark is in my Arha book. This is a little mushroom. Mushroom. Hot. It's you who wants to come to my side, Lu Feng and Anja. Name says, having Scum villain content is a dream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Also, yeah, so I predicted that the fuck or die was about the poison, but everyone in the chat was like, it's not that, so there's gonna be something, there's gonna be some sort of fuck or die scenario, that's all I know. Ooh, Kenzie says you're getting a first edition of a new bookmark that hasn't released yet. I'm excited for that. And I've seen the Scum villain Donghua, so I'm like, when the fuck do the spiders come? Is that coming up soon? Is that gonna be next? Is that the next arc? Kate, you did finish Little Mushroom. Yay! Okay, next is the conference. That's when the spiders happen, right? Oh, gosh. They're like the face hugger spider monsters in the Donghua. Jessica says, can you keep having around 20 to 30 minutes of chatting at the start of the streams? I normally won't be able to make it until then. Yeah, I like just being able to chat with everybody for a bit and make sure everybody gets settled and can arrive. They suck out your brains or something, yeah. Miss Rosie says, I decided that Little Mushroom will be the first audiobook I do when my computer's fixed since people aren't able to find it and I have both books. That is awesome. That's super awesome. Laura says, I feel like the spiders are worse in the book. Kate says, the Mpreg in Little Mushroom is real. It really is. Bro, the spiders were not it for me. I want to like because on my channel I have the video that's like me assuming things about Scum Villain, and we filmed that like 4 years ago now, and so I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't rewatch it now because I will get spoiled on things. I really want to rewatch my one of guessing things about Modazushi because I know everything about Modazushi now. SK says, I fear I imagined the spiders as like Sid's spider toy from Toy Story. Kate says, MXTX would have written Mpreg if the government let her. I'm convinced. Oh my god. Yeah, probably. Kenzie says, I love the Arha Assumptions video. Yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, we should do another guess. You know, I think I'm going to read Run Wild, and then maybe I could make Stitch guess things about it. That could be pretty funny. Jessica says, I found your video from the Modazushi Assumptions video. Yeah, I want to watch it back. We should make one for Missville. Yes! Yes! Yes, that would be good. I don't know anything about that. Oh my god. That would be really good. Assuming things about mistakenly saving the villain. Let's turn on some background music. Waywishens Wake said, I first watched your explaining all of TGCF to my friend video. Oh, yes. Kichter reacts to Kichter guest stuff about Modazushi. Honestly, I think that would be a funny video. Do you know if any of your friends have read Missville? If not, I'll see if they can find anyone else who knows about it. I don't think I know anyone who has read it. Omega versus Life. Bean says, sorry for repeating, but in case you didn't know, I wanted to see the character designs for Scumville, and there's a section for them in the back of the book, not the back cover. Oh! Oh shit, no way. Ooh, okay. We got Shenjing Cho and Lo. Look at them. Very hot. He's so fucking little. Then, shut the fuck up. Lochinga's so hot. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. Look at this bitch. Look at him. Oh my god, I love a single side bang bitch. It's like, he's alright. But look at him! Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Spark Major, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for another wonderful story time. I've been playing Balatro while listening, and oh god, I'm addicted. Oh, I've heard of that. I don't know what it is. I just know that people like it. That's awesome, though. I'm glad you enjoyed story time. And thank you so much for your donation. Okay, who else do we got here? We got Ming Fan and Ning Ying Ying. They just look like children. And that's it. There's no doctor. Are there more characters in the back of the other books? I wish they did this for like TGCF. Did they? No, they didn't. Did they? There's more in the other books. Okay, I got the second book here. Ooh, we got adult. We got adult Binga. He's looking pretty hot, I must say. I'm into it. Gongyi Xiao. Oh yeah, I know some people really like him. Yes, I remember he's in the Immortal Alliance thing. Oh, Mobe Jun! Oh my god! Oh my god! Who is he? He's so hot! Oh my god! Holy shit! I want to know everything about him. Okay, Mobe Jun, hello. And Shang Qinghua. Little guy. Quite cute. Mobe Jun, though, come on. Oh, Mu Qingfang is very cute, actually. He is not the ugly mustached doctor from the Donghua. That's so funny. Look at him. He's got such a cute little face. And Zhuji Long. I know he is a snake. Interesting. Huh. There's not a gallery like this in the back of the TGCF books, is there? No, okay. Oh, there's no gallery in the other one, in book 3. Boo. No gallery. Right? I'm not crazy, right? And not in book 4 either. Okay, well, the first 2, they did that. That's cute. Only time Scum villain got special treatment. I will be BRB. I'm being RBing. crabs! Not the crabs! Kenzie says, which divine beast do you think I should do next in Breath of the Wild? So which one did you do already? Also, this is such a big mutiny. Oh my god, all the crabs. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Aw, Scum Villain doesn't even get, like, birthday wishes. Yeah. You did Ruta already. Okay, nice. You could do the bird one, because the power that the bird one gives you, it makes it so much easier to travel around the map. Hi, Night Owl! The only merch we got was the special edition postcards. Oof, yeah. It's sad that Stars of Chaos didn't have a special edition ending. There was a pull-out poster, though. Kate says I sent lobsters, not crabs, because I'm classy. Thank you. Kenzie says, I'm mad still about Chapelong. Oh, watching the stream on 2x to catch up is smart. I've never thought about that. Okay, guys, what should I draw tonight? I feel like drawing. Kate sent me some torso anatomy and head anatomy to try drawing. Who should I draw? Jessica said, I need them to re-release the Nendoroid dolls. I was super lucky and got the normal Nendoroids when I first joined the Danme fandom, but I need the dolls. What's the difference between the normal Nendoroid and the Nendoroid dolls? Are they bigger? Shenjing Cho in his harem. Shenjing Cho in the bed with his fan and the harem of boys. I'll get a lot of practice that way. Binga has little heart hands. Oh! You got more snow, Night Owl? That's crazy! Oh my gosh. Draw Lolchinga. All I do is draw single-banged motherfuckers. Draw Binga as a shrimp. Shrimp, huh? You should look up the Nendoroid dolls. They're so cute. And yes, they're a bit bigger and have fabric clothes. Let's see. I do want to see this. Nendoroid dolls Scum Villain. Are these? Oh! I've never seen these before. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. They can hold hands. Oh my gosh. They haven't made these for like Heaven Official's Blessing, have they? This is super cute. I kind of want the Bingha. I kind of want them now. Oh my god. Are they only available on like eBay? Scum villain. Nendoroids. Only $243 on AliExpress. Oh wait, I have the Heaven Officials Blessing one with yeah, they have the cloth, they have the clothes, yeah, and the hat is like actually made of like bamboo. No, those are super nice. I want the crying Bingha one. It's $300 fucking dollars. That's crazy. eBay. Scum villain Nendoroids. The Blu-ray? Oh. 190. That's not so bad. Canadian too. No low Bingha though. Low Bingha. Oh, only $900. Oh my god. $1,000. He's okay. We could buy him right now for $550. Look at this, $1,000. Oh my god. How? Oh, there. This one's for 300. This one, Jessica. Not that just casually dropping $300 is normal. That's just crazy. Oh my god. I'm into it. I'm into it. That's so funny. These are so cute. I have the Scum Villain mini dolls. I'm excited to put them up in our new house. $289. That's crazy. Like, what are the... What are they going for? Okay, there's so many people selling them, though. Yeah, I want the Crybaby Bingha one. Like, let me check Facebook Marketplace. Scum villain Nendoroid. Oh, lots of people selling the books. What if I just typing in Lo Bingha on Facebook just seems wrong. Lo Bingha. When I typed in Lo Bingha, someone selling pens came up and a truck you can rent. I type in Shenxing Cho. Chef's basic shirt came up and cool markers. Damn. Oh, hell yeah, Bingha has a truck. Currently unavailable. Come on! What's the point? Oh well, we tried. I like refresh the eBay listing and see that that one we saw is gone. I'm just joking. The truck is the only thing that can contain his heavenly nut. Kickter being into crying men wasn't on my 2025 bingo card. Are there any other crying men I've liked in the past? I don't think so. Jung Chung. Oof. Oh my god, Jessica, that's so funny. I hope that you found it or something. Yin Yu on the inside. Stop. Bingha is the #1 crying man. Yuri from Yuri on Ice. True. Kate says, I love it when hot guys cry. Oh my god. Well, we've yet to get to like a... I mean, I think the scene we just saw was kind of the first time we've seen Bingha do that, right? Like, just like be unable to control himself and like give him a hug. Does he keep hugging him? Will there be more glomps? Night Owl says, I've started on my January project, almost done with researching. Ooh, I'm excited to see. There's more than hugging. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chuaning also cries. Okay, but when he rarely cries, but when he does, oh god. Also Chuaning crying during sex, yeah. When he's being dominated. Glomps is one way to phrase it. Oh my, yeah, and more. What? Anja is a bit of a crybaby, yeah. Lan Chi Chen after Jingguan Yao. Oh my god. Oh, Gumang is a crier. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Night Owl, definitely send me your progress. Shen Chao cries. Glomp, haven't heard that word in years. Gumang is a huge crybaby. Really? When he's not like mind broken as a wolf? Bingha figures out he can get what he wants from his shizen with some crocodile tears. Oh. Okay. Kate, I'm sure Hua Chung makes Shilian cry. Yeah, tears of arousal? Caramel said, I cried, to be honest, too. Spark Major says, Gumang is uber sensitive. He just has a strong will. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I think I want to read Remnants of Filth. We do know Gumong is sensitive. Sensitive in another way, yes. Shen Jingcho knows it too, which is so funny. Yeah, I'm very excited to get into more uncharted Scum villain territory. Gumon is a big crier and Moshi loves to see it. Is this leaking? What the hell? My water bottle's leaking. My water broke, yeah. What scene, Kate? With no spoilers. Because Stitch described the whole book to me. What did you think of Skinha when that trended? I made a video about that. I thought it's so funny, but it's gross. Dacrophilia goes hard in this comment section. Oh my god, you scared me.
Can I interest you in a pickle?
Yes! It's the last pickle, isn't it?
It is.
You are so... Romance is not dead. Oh, you want me to eat a pickle on stream?
I don't know, isn't it like Scum villain themed? You can turn off your screen. I don't care what you do. We can throw away the jar now, so last thing to move. I'm doing well.
Stitch is making me eat this pickle right now so she can throw away the jar.
One last thing to move, eventually.
Jesus. Stitch is falling into the fucking lights.
I'm just gonna take this. Okay. Bye.
What the hell? We got a donation. Thank you, Master Ash. Before you end the stream, please look up the animated video for Hualien called Would You Fall in Love With Me Again? It's by Marcelly Arts. It's so good. I think I have seen that. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the suggestion, Master Ash. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so this is Shen Zhou, right? He was the pickle. That's a good pickle. I don't want to make too many crunchings. That's really good pickle. I love how Stitch was like, it's Scum villain themed. My teeth are really sensitive to cold, so I can't like bite into it properly. It's dripping pickle juice all over me. Kenzie says, dono for pickle shizzin. Oh my god, thank you. Come up to the mic and take a bite. That was good. That was really good. I'm covered in juice now. That was a really crunchy pickle. Good night, sunflower. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Stitch is so funny. Night Owl says that's a good partner. It's true. She's always thinking of me. Cucumber versus pickle bro. A whole goddamn pickle on a fork. Kictor, you would be a star in the ASMR mukbang world. Yes, apparently with my keyboard sounds and my crunching. Now use the keyboard. Good night, Spark Major. Buying this keyboard was the best thing I've ever done. It is 7:42 in Vancouver. Stitch knows romance with her acts of service. Truly. Pickle ASMR was not on the bingo sheet. Wait till Lizzie hears about this. Covered in juice, not clickbait. This is Low Binga live stream tormenting his shizen. I hate this. Oh my gosh. Scarlett says, I love your shirt. Thank you. Is Gobo. Pages turning, pickles crunching, keyboards clacking is peak ASMR. Lizzie, yes, I just said your name. Because someone said eating a pickle was not on their... Kictor eating a pickle was not on their bingo card. And I said, wait till Lizzie hears about this. Lemon says, I'm supposed to be writing fanfic right now, but I'm here instead. What fanfic are you gonna write? You guys know what's crazy? So like, on my YouTube membership, if you join the Ghost Flame tier, I send out like a sticker to you with like a cool little note, and I write a handwritten note if you ask a question. And so many of you guys are from Texas. The majority of all of my membership letters I've sent out go to Texas. Isn't that interesting? Like, there should be more Dan May events in Texas. Because there's a lot of you guys all there. Steph is from Texas, yeah. Texas is wild, that's wild. Very few Canadians. A lot of Americans. There's been a couple other from... Maybe like a couple from England. Quite a few from Germany. But mostly Texas. Oh, Disneyland has an event for Lunar New Year, says Chirong. That must be exciting. Kate says, I'm from other Canada. East Coast. Leo says, I sent you my very first attempt at fan art. Ooh, let's see. There are a few of us from Australia. Oh, that's awesome, Jessica. Leo, that's beautiful. That is... Oh, you can't see it. It's so blown out on my phone. That's awesome, Leo. Look at him. That's sick. And that's your first attempt at fan art. That's awesome. Man, drawing has been so much fun. Someone else sent... Lizzie said that they sent me something, right? Really good news. The Kickflip group chat are planning a frantic fanfic game of our own sometime this week. Oh, playing without me, I see. So thank you for the inspiration. I'm just joking. And also, me, Minerva, and Shower are working on an art edit together that we are very excited to share with you. And the Kickflips once we are done. That's cool. You guys are doing an edit together? That's so awesome. That is sick. I'm very excited to see that. Deandra says, hey girl, last we spoke my car had broken down and I'd missed work. Thankfully it needed a battery replacement that was under warranty. It was free of charge. Nice, that's fantastic. Happy to laugh with you. Now I want a pickle. I hope you can have a pickle soon. And that's fantastic that your car stuff was all covered for, because car stuff is so expensive. Oh my gosh. Jessica said you just sent me a DM, but I don't have to look at it on stream. What is your Instagram? It's not coming up for me. Unless there was a picture attached. Oh, I see it. Oh my goodness. Jessica, that is fantastic. Guy the Pirate Witch, thank you for upgrading your membership. Thank you so much. Leo says, thank you, I tried my best. My artist friend said he lovingly looked last a potato. What? Your art is awesome, Leo. Don't let anybody tell you different. Joe, thank you for purchasing my merch. Thank you so much. Was it the fox and ferret tote? Jessica says, sorry for the buff pom-pom purr, that was the last thing I sent you. Oh, I don't think the link worked on my end, so I didn't see it. That's so funny. That's fantastic. Cork, thank you for your donation. I resent my peerless art on Insta. Had to fix the hair on Feng Xiao. Oh, let's see, let's see. That's awesome. Thank you for your donation, Cork. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. This is giving the most peerless vibes ever. That's fantastic. Oh my god, I love them. That is so cute. Also, the peacock is one of them a dog and the other's a peacock? Or a fox? That's so cute. That's so funny. Miss Rosie, thank you for upgrading your membership. Thank you so much. Emperor's Prince said, I had to run and evacuate for a few days, but I'm back home now. Oh my god. Oh, are you in LA? Oh my god. I'm so sorry to hear that. Kate says, I know I'm gonna have fun with Peerless when I get around to it. I love a deathly ill man. We love crying men. We love deathly ill men. And we love men who want to change the world, even though it's impossible to do so. Kenzie, you gotta read Arha. Luna Chan says, I finally finished that beef leaf art that I forgot about last night. Ooh, I want to see it. Crying, ill, and delusional. The perfect man. Oh, I'm glad that it was just a in good spirit, Leo. Varsha says, showed my sister Xiao Mengyu from TGCF and now she won't calling him little guy. That's his name! His name is little guy! Jessica says, crying, ill, and delusional. It could also describe Victor Arcane, so I agree. Perfect man. Fuck yes. I'm definitely in the Victor Arcane fandom as well. Little guy mentioned. Fuck yeah, bring back little guy. That was the best ship of TGCF season 2. Perceptor! Crying ill and delusional is also Chuaning. Yes. A little sniffly and cold. And a bitch about it, but deeply wanting affection. Night Owl says, I watched episode 1 of Arcane so far. No Victor yet. He's coming. He's in episode 2 and he's episode 2. Episode 3, a lot more. His legal government name is Little Guy. Chirong X Soup was a pretty good one in season 2. It's true, it didn't get much screen time though. Yes, I have read Motozushi. Chirong best of season 2. No Chirong best of season 2. Fight me. Wait, what? Pei Ming and Shi Qingxuan. Okay, I did like their little like fight they had in the. Lizzie, stop! That's so funny. Junwoo and his slutty little railing lean was pretty good. Yes, that's so. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's so funny. Kate says, I'm still recovering from the Junwoo voice kink in season 2. Yes! Oh my god! He was so hot. There's one line, I can't remember what it is. He's saying something like, you're, and you're not. I always hear that part. I need to rewatch the dub, because I always hear just like, you're not. I can't remember what the rest of the line is or anything, though. I haven't read that Resident Danmei Enthusiast, but I have read other fics by that author. Oh, no, Chirong is the best thing of season 2. Oh, I see. No, I said that I was talking about the best ship of season 2. Chirong's lip gloss is definitely fantastic. Why do you not seek requital? Shaylan calling himself a spoiled little princess. How'd you seduce Trouble this time? Oh my god. Something about seducing Trouble? Oh my god. I need to know. I'm so curious. Does he say you're not in that scene? Or did I totally make that up? You're not. What episode does that happen in? Junwoo, absolutely toxic boyfriend. See, everyone can remember him saying it, but they can't remember the context. We're pulling it up, folks. Season 2. Yeah, is it episode 1? Master Ash, thank you for your donation. Sent a DM. Me and my partner have been yelling about this man for days. What man? He also tells Shalian he's erected a palace for him. Ugh. Master Ash, what is your name different on Instagram? I'm not seeing. Oh, wait. Is it Suo from Windbreaker? He's like Chibi Hua-chung. I don't know this boy, but I've heard that this show is good. How did you seduce Trouble this time? You're not. How did you seduce Trouble this time? Okay, so what does Shalian say that makes him say you're not? Oh my god, this is fantastic. Varsha and Anon Rose, you guys are killing this. What is the line before that? He was asking if he was in trouble or something. Okay. Oh my god. The scene is so toxic.
How disappointing. Shenle is all grown up now. A fact you've selfishly kept hidden by disappearing 800 years ago. I sent you down with the expectation of some contact.
It's so toxic. It's so toxic. Yet you chose to torture us both with silence. Oh my god. It's giving such like butthurt X. Okay, I gotta find it. Such a low opinion. Okay, I'm trying not to get a copyright strike here. Wait. Emma, crying Bingha is on the way. Got a good deal. That's assuming. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, Emma? Oh my god, that's insane. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you so much. Oh my god. I'm so excited. That is fantastic. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Oh, I found it.
Were they, though? General Pei would disagree. Mingguang's fine. However, you're not. How'd you seduce Trouble this time?
Because Shalian got hurt. Mingguang's fine. However, you're not. How'd you seduce Trouble this time? Oh my god. You're not. That lives in my head rent-free. Fellas, folks, girlies, I have to go, like right now. So thank you guys so much for coming to the stream, and I will see you guys. I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. It's gonna be crazy because we're moving and it's nuts. But yes, okay, I love you guys. Goodbye.